even when we're not in the playoffs, right? Let's go. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Appreciate each and every last one of you all. I really do appreciate it. Regardless of the situation or the outcome of the matter, let's go Cowboys for the rest of my life. Yeah. You guys getting pumped up for the offseason. This week, we will dive into some mock drafts. We will dive into some draft philosophies and all of those things, by the way. Let's room fill up. Be sure to slap that notification bell. Rub the like button and punch that subscribe button for me. Let's go. Be aggressive with it. Yeah. Shout out to everybody that's jumping in. Name. Laudation. Yeah. Come on. Really appreciate ya. Baby. Come on. Y'all ain't doing nothing else, right? And please, only give if your heart desires to give. Law is not begging for any change, but I do like the remunerations. Only give if your heart desires. Come on. Yep. Hearts of hearts. Come on. Yeah. Too many people counting money these days. So I'm only going to say this once again. Only give if your heart desires. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. Appreciate everybody for jumping in. Like I said, this is the Cowboys Sports Talk, Law Nation, one way or another. I really appreciate you guys so much. This is what diehard fans supposed to do, right? We get mad, we cry, we moan about the situation, but at the end of the day, we back up and say, "Come on, throw me your best shot again," you know. you keep swinging, you know, and you keep swinging, you keep punching. It's for 27 years, we keep swinging, we keep punching. Keep in mind, Cowboy Nation. Let me know if I'm too loud. Keep in mind, Cowboy Nation. Most of us been fans of this team before Jerry bought the team, right? So we shouldn't be folding up like a wallet or a lawn chair. It's going back to what I said earlier. Now, as a topic, before we get into the verses, and I don't think, just to be fair with you guys, I don't think that Sean Payton will be the coach. I'm just going to put that out there as a disclaimer, right? I don't think that he will be the coach. I think that the Cowboys are going to roll with Mike McCarthy for another year. And I don't think that Mike McCarthy should be worried about his job or what have you, right? We shouldn't be sitting back, going back and forth saying, "Oh, Mike McCarthy should be worried." You know, if anything, it'll sully and denigrate the namesake of the Cowboys organization to fire a guy coming off of his second year being 12-5, right? Now, there could be a strong argument. Hear me out before y'all pull out the butter knives. I'm finna shank this dude, you know, finna shank him before you shank me. Sneak up on me. You know, we still have some Garrettism going on, right? And I'm not trying to sully or denigrate Jason Garrett. No, we're not trying to do that. But there's a reason why. There's a reason why, if you look at war in the olden days or what have you, that they burn the entire village, they burn everything down. They make sure that nobody's still alive because they don't want all of the old influences to still permeate throughout the locker room, right? So that is the situation. We don't know who's really Mike McCarthy outside of him lying to everybody to get the job. And he said, hey, I was just joking, man. I didn't watch every play. And he did brought along Kellen Moore. And Kellen Moore, going into his third year, now it will be his fourth year. Going into his fourth year, Kellen Moore can look at this thing and say, hey, I interviewed for this job. I interviewed for that job. And I'm not getting the love that I want. You know, I don't hear multiple resources or multiple reports saying that, hey, Kellen Moore is now going to his second interview. You know you're good when you go to the second interview. They said, look, let's take a real good look at this guy one more time. Let's ask him these questionings, you know. And if you're a smart interviewer, you ask them the same question, you know, see if they keep that composure. Not everybody can remember their lies, right? Training two-face of evils. He said Sean Payton is not coming to Dallas. That's false. That's false. That's false. That's false now. He's coming to Dallas. He got a home in South Lake, by the way. Not that far down the street from Jason Witten's home. You know what I'm saying? So he's coming to Dallas. You know, at what capacity is he coming? Is he coming with as being a coach? Or is he coming to be, you know, just a resident of Dallas? And 9 times out of 10, the weather for Dallas is not that pleasing. So, you know, it's just what it is. You know, it's just crazy. But Sean Payton is coming to Dallas. If I wanted to clickbait everybody, I should have put it in the title, Sean Payton coming to Dallas, you know. Oh, my goodness, y'all wouldn't have liked me today, baby. They'd be like, look, Law says Sean Payton is going to Dallas, you know, which will be true, right? You know, which will be true. He got a home in Dallas. So do Drew Brees, got a home in Dallas. You know, so I'm not saying that you resurrect Drew Brees. Shout out to him, too. You know, he got a home somewhere close to Dallas. I meant to say Drew Brees, not necessarily in Dallas, but you guys get what I'm saying. The differences between the two, I think, how can I say this? Your reputation means everything, right? And as much as we can go back and forth and talk about Mike McCarthy's reputation versus Sean Payton's, I think that Sean Payton got a cleaner slate. You know, he's not getting massages and things like that and winking his eye and he's taking days off or what have you and allowing his department staff to do their work. That was the reputation for Mike McCarthy. Now, not to sully the man, but sometimes you need your little R&R. You know, sometimes you need that. George says Aikman for GM. We're going to talk about that a little later. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I will say this. Both coaches, let's pull up, as they say in the streets, you always got to update your resume, right? Let me see if I can pull this up. Appreciate everybody for jumping in. I really thank you guys for jumping in. Be sure, if I beg for anything, one thing I do beg for is hitting that like button. I ain't too proud to beg, you know. Please hit that like button. Pulling up the resume for 15 years. 15 years. I think let me see, let me pull up his name right here. Let me see. Sean Payton. And pull out them colors. Whole government name. Okay, I know I was right with it. Not Patrick Ewing, but Patrick Sean Payton. You know what I'm saying? That's his full government name. Patrick Sean Payton. He won 100. I'm gonna say like my grandfather used to. May he rest in peace. 152 games. He lost 89 games. 152 games and lost 89 games. That put him at a winning percentage of .631. .631 in his 15 career. The last time he punched it in as far as the Super Bowl was 2009. 09, baby, on your mind. And I remember that year because I was saying, hey, we going to the Super Bowl. Y'all don't think I was.
No.
I said, man, I mean, hey, I said, man, we going to the Super Bowl. Why? Because we got 9 and 09 is on my mind, baby. I said for sure. And a third of you guys, good thing I wasn't on YouTube or Facebook at the time, but people that know me. They know I represented Romo to the core. I mean, Romo was the best thing since sliced bread. Right? Let me know if y'all felt the same way. Unsullied Sean, no. C. Burleson, no. No. Lee says, appreciate you for the donation, man. Thank you so much. He said, if he goes to Dallas, I'm going to be pissed. God damn it. Who that? This is from Lee. He's a Who that fan. Shout out to you for your donations, though, man. Shout out to you for your donation. So, you would not be the only one, but that was the last time he won the Super Bowl for you down there in New Orleans. And at the time, I was still staying in Mississippi, and from where I stayed at, it was only 80 miles to drive to New Orleans, give or take, 80 miles depending on how fast you drive. And we got a few hand grenades and things like that to be 100 with you. Since y'all call my brother Ryan, who's a 49er fan, and I got a brother that's a Eagles fan, right? And my mom is a Saints fan, so she's a diehard Saints fan way back in the days. And you know what I'm saying? Well, y'all wearing the brown bag over the head. So if anybody would go around yelling, who that will be my mom, and I'd be like, I can't stand y'all. You know what I'm saying? But baby, the Dallas Cowboys is in that middle place with this coaching staff. Because on one end, we can all see that the favorite for this job would be Kellen Moore, right? Head coach. Akeem said dinner must be fun. Oh my gosh, man. It's pure football analytics, baby. Oh my God. And trust me, and see, a lot of people don't understand. I literally had to fight for Tony Romo at the dinner table. And I don't fold. I get mad, I slam the table in half, because think about it. Every Thanksgiving, your boy, you know what I'm saying, was rooting for him during that time frame. Lamar says, appreciate you, man, big homie, appreciate you. What about Payton for GM? Maybe step down with him being mad at coaches and put places. Payton better for Dak Prescott and Kellen. Lamar, appreciate the donation, by the way. Appreciate the donation. Oh, my God. Lamar, let me pull it up so everybody can see. Come on, camera, right here. Wake up, camera. Ooh. The answer is no. Jerry would not give up that beautiful spot of being the person that can gather all of the credit. And about 8 months ago, about 8 months ago, and I'm going to have to pull up the podcast before we leave today. I just believe about 8 months ago, there was, on this podcast, Colin Cowherd brought on Dave Wannstedt. And Wannstedt was going over the departure of how all of this stuff pretty much erupted. And basically, the departure was because of credit. And Jerry wants the credit. And he was breaking down, like Wannstedt was breaking down the fact that when when Jerry first bought the Cowboys, remember, they was in a negative. And he had to make sure that he get everything going as far as marketing deals, TV deals, revenue from the uniforms and everything as far as game placement and sponsor dollars. So he didn't really have time. He really didn't have time to be in the press conference, what's going in and out of the meetings as relates to the Cowboys football stuff. He was clearly the marketing genius. But what happened is when the Cowboys started winning and everything, that money, all of that hard work started flowing in easily. And this is me not throwing any shade at my guy. Because I know he was just trying to get him some,
I want me some glory hole.
He was just trying to get him some little glory hole. But glory be to Jerry Jones wanting to get those glories, right? Because he put the Cowboys back on the map. But the one problem is that he didn't get the credit. And the problem is, Cowboy Nation, hear me out. Hear me out. When Jerry Jones told, and I'm not, look, man, there would not be a dry eye in the building when the good Lord called Jerry home, right? And then on top of that, he might outlive us all, right? He might outlive us all. We all gone, Jerry's still here. This is how the world works sometimes. But, this is the situation. Cowboy Nation. In that interview, and I'm going to pull up the clip and I'm going to play some of it down the line. But in that interview, he went over the fact that Jerry told Jimmy that I can literally find 500 other coaches to coach this team and we can win the Super Bowl. Lo and behold, Cowboy Nation, in 1995 season, the 95-96 season, it happened. He went and got Barry Switzer, who, by the way, before anybody say, Barry Switzer was a horrible coach, he was a legend in the college arena. Barry was a legend in the college arena. Can anybody disagree? And sometimes, Cowboy Nation and everybody that's listening, I tell people all the time, you learn more from your failure than your success. But sometimes, hear me out, early success can be a detriment and an impediment to your everyday success. Because sometimes you will say, man, I don't need it because it works this way. Because I was successful when I did it. And then that truth come a knocking. People ain't going to like me today because I tell the truth and it hurts. The truth come a knocking. And the lies that will all spread over the world of what you've done, and you walking around with your chest out and you're saying, look at me. Look what I've done. But the truth takes its time. Roll out of the bed. Get the sleep out of his eyes or her eyes. Shake it off. Go to the restroom. Wipe his or her face. This is the truth. And it takes its time. Brush his teeth. Grooming is very important. Then the truth. Reads the paper. Say, oh, this is what's going on. Oh, he said this about me. Let me get up out of this house and go greet the reality. And the problem is, Cowboy Nation, that the truth been moving around so slowly that it's now on 27 years. But now we can put things together because now we can look at into this thing and say, man, oh my goodness. Jerry, low key, he needs Jimmy. Barry Switzer wasn't the issue. It wasn't the solution. The players from Jimmy influence. The influence of Jimmy. Go back and talk to each and every last one of those boys. Emmett, the playmaker, Troy, Jay Novacek, all of those boys in the 90s. they come to this and they would tell you, hey, man, we had to win in spite of the coaches. Boy, y'all ain't hearing me today, baby. Michael Gordon says, Law Nation, why are we not trying to pinpoint what's wrong with Dakota Prescott? We have nobody there to get this team hyped up to win. Michael Gordon, baby. Because, oh my goodness, I need to go find that clip and play it. Oh my goodness. You hit the nail right on the head, man. Oh my goodness, Michael. Ooh. Oh. Mike. I'm going to say this. This is what Parcells said. Everybody was hyping up Romo. Rightfully so, by the way. They were saying that, man, this guy, he's like a mixture of Brett Favre, minus the mistakes at the time. He can put the ball where it need to be. And, man, he brought life back to the Cowboys organization. Because if he didn't do it, Clint Stoner or whatever his name was right behind him, and he had to beat him out. But this guy, Bill Parcells, Big Tuna, the tuna, he said, put the anointing oil away. Let's not anoint him. And he gave, I think, Romo like 10 commandments. And I don't have it. One of you guys may have it. If you can't post it for me. He gave him 10 commandments of what he should do or should not do. Do you guys remember that? Put the anointing oil away. The tuna. And it wasn't to sully or to denigrate Tony Romo. Right? But it was to make sure that he stay on the right path. And that was the last time we had a philosophy with a coach that was hard-nosed. Can somebody please pull up those 10 commandments and put it out in the chat and I can read them out? But he said it not to sully or denigrate him. Now let's rewind a little bit further. In this, I'm going to find the clip. But in the same talk track, it was a game where Troy Aikman threw 2 or 3 interceptions. And Jimmy Johnson wanted to say, he told this to like a few of the other coaching staff. I cannot have my quarterback throwing interceptions. It's now time for me to chastise my quarterback. Hear me out before y'all say, hey, Dak Prescott is faultless and he shouldn't go without blemishes or what have you. You know, he's untouchable. That's the better way to say it. But this was the mighty Jimmy Johnson that was about to scrutinize and chastise. You have it here. You posted, man, dog, man, you gave me an essay, man. What's this, man? I don't know, man. Your opponent, Is this the 10th commandment? Yeah, this is. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Okay, good. You're a real one, Rodriguez. All right, so he was about to chastise Troy. And what happened right before he got a chance to chastise him, Jerry Jones did a presser and uplifted Troy. You know what I'm saying? So it went against the psyche and the coaching philosophy of Jimmy, because Jimmy wasn't going to let him off the hook. But Jerry, understanding that, hey, I got to sell these 8 jerseys. I got to sell hope and promise. I got to get butts and seats. And, of course, I got to tell everybody, Troy do nothing wrong. But that was the wrong message, and Jimmy didn't like it. I can't wait to play this. Press on the TV agents or the advertisers, family or wives, family or relatives, Ignore fans, hanging out, ignore them, matter, don't forget to have fun. I think that, it's too crammed up, man. Clowns can't run a huddle. A quarterback, I'm just going to paraphrase. A quarterback throws with his legs more than his arms. SWAT and run. Fat quarterbacks can't avoid the rush. And this is the 10 Commandments, man. I appreciate you so much. Know your job. Code. This is not a game without errors. Keep yours to the minimum. So he said, keep your errors to a minimum. Study, study, study. Know your players. Who's fast? Who's slow? Who can catch? Who needs encouragement? Ooh! Man, it's so good. Be precise. I'm trying to read this all together, Cowboy Nation. Bear with me. My hooked on phonic eyes are not working today. Prepare yourself. Remember, impulse decisions usually equals mistakes. Throwing the ball away is a good play. Sack, interceptions, and fumbles are bad plays. Protect against those. You must learn to manage the game. Personnel, play calling, motions, ball handling, proper reads, accurate throws, play fakes, clock. Man, if I could just have this posted somewhere in the Dallas locker room, right by the quarterback locker room, right in front of them every day, and they must have to look. If I'm the coach, I would have these players reciting this, every time. Look, you throw an interception, you get a fumble. If anything's happened on this particular bylaws that the great Parcells issued out, my goodness, I would have all of my quarterbacks knowing this by sight, by mind, and by heart. Passing stats and TD passes are not how you're going to be judged. Woo! Your job is to get your team in the end zone. Oh, my goodness. And that's how you're going to be judged. This is the Bill Parcells. Oh, my goodness. This is such good stuff, man. We need battlefield commanders that's all willing to fight it out every day and every week and every season and lead their team to win after win after win after win after win after win after win. I got through most of it, Cowboy Nation. Oh, my gosh, man. Forget all of that. Can we just call Bill Parcells? Say Bill Parcells and Dak Prescott, hey, we're going to lock them up into a room, and he need to give that same, I'm talking about that same sheet of commandments and say, Rain Dakota Prescott, I said this to the previous quarterback, Tony Romo. It helped him out, along the way. He might have veered off of it, but I'm trying to keep you on the path to stand on this path. And I believe he used other words about, don't become a celebrity quarterback, basically somewhere in there. And I don't see it written in here. But, you guys get what I'm saying, right? Yeah. You're right. That's why my teeth white. I'll never lie. Please call the tuna. All right. So, reason why I'm big on the tuna, right, is because we all know that good coaches also. Let me know if I'm talking too loud. Let me know. Good coaches also, Cowboy Nation. Good coaches also got trees, right? They got trees, and I ain't talking about the kind you blow. You know what I'm saying? Come on, thing, work. Yeah, good coaches got trees, coaching trees, and perfect audio. Appreciate you. Let's go. JP says 2007 was better because 2007 was still similar to what 2006 of what you learned. Remember, 06 started off a little rugged, right? And the team was still trying to find itself. And what happened here, Cowboy Nation, is that all of the information and all of the studying and all of the play sheet that the Cowboys were able to design with, hear me out, with the mighty Parcells spilled over. But you can literally argue that this team lost focus the moment Bill Parcells left the building. So what happened in 07, you bring in Wade Phillips, you bring in Jason Garrett, but everybody still had the Parcells philosophy. Keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. It felt just like yesterday. Jason Witten retired. He was a Parcells guy, right? Believe it or not, Tony Romo, Parcells guy. which really came from, hear me out, Cowboy Nation, Sean Payton. I don't think that Tony Romo would ever put on that silver and blue if it wasn't for Sean Payton. And when you're talking about chips off of blocks, Sean Payton holds his player accountable to the same reasons as Mike McCarthy. All right, so let me pull up Mike McCarthy's resume. And I feel everybody that understands that, hey, both of them had Hall of Famer quarterbacks, and both of them pretty much got a Super Bowl. So Mike McCarthy's record, he's been coaching for 15 years as well. 15 years of coaching. He took 1 year off, I believe, a year and a half or something like that, right? But neither here nor there. He won 143 games. He lost 92 games and 2 ties. You know, he just got 2 ties. And that put him at .608. So when we look into this, he won literally 125 games for 13 years with the Green Bay Packers, and he lost 77 games. So far with the Cowboys, he coached a grand total, I believe, of 33 games. If I'm looking at this correct, yeah, 33 games. He's 18-15 with a .545 record. That's his percentage, what have you. So I'm looking at it like this. If you were to draw a graph or like a chart, it would start off that my guy Mike McCarthy is going like this, right? And then the 2021 season hit, and now he's going up. And that's 12-5. 12-5 for this season. 12-6 for this season. If you add the playoff game. What's good, Law? Sorry I'm late, but I'll be back afterwards. Appreciate you, Michael. Thank you for jumping in. Herm Edwards will be a solid pickup if we lose Dan Quinn. This is from King. I think that, not to veer off and talk defensive side of the coin, but if you want to keep some of the same philosophy, you're going to have to roll with Joe Witt Jr. But if you want to go out and grab another coach and different philosophy and different temperaments, you have to go with Mike Zimmer or Vic Fangio or somebody like that. Brian Flores, I think that he deserved to be a head coach. I don't think that he should go somewhere and be a DC. I think Flores need to go somewhere to be a head coach and at least keep applying. Keep applying to see who can reach out to him. Somebody probably want him. Shout out to Aikman's going to be a great GM. Are you willing to go through growing pains? And I don't think that the Cowboys are willing to release that type of power over. Not just yet. If anything, it'll be a slap in Will McClay's face if you give somebody else from the outside a GM role and you got Will McClay sitting there like, oh, okay, I'm good. I'm okay. I'm all right. I don't think that will fly pretty well. Better than 8-8 Jason Garrett. I'm not finna pull up Jason Garrett record. No. I'm not finna do that. I'm not finna do that. Let's see. Can we go get Lincoln Riley? Lincoln just got him a big-time job for college somewhere, right? USC, something like that. I don't think that they're going to do that with Lincoln. No way. John Lynch was good for the first GM job. I don't know. I think the 49ers struggled a little bit, right? Didn't the 49ers struggle for a second? Shout out to you, Sam. Will McClay is fine. Yeah. What's up, Jay Worthy? What's good with you, my brother? All right, so let me see if I can find that video that I was promising everybody, and then we'll dive more into the comparison talk. I think I got it somewhere right here. Y'all bear with me now.
This week there was a story where Jerry Jones
Let me know if y'all can hear audio.
came out and acknowledged he's the one that screwed up the Cowboys dynasty with Jimmy Johnson. And I think it's something that I've understood, Jimmy understood. Dave, I've never even asked you this question before, but I mean, it's fairly obvious from my purview that basically when Jerry bought the Cowboys, he had to get the finances right. So he spent the next 2 years in his side of the building. Jimmy and you had to get the football operation right, and you were on your side of the building. But my feeling was always once the Cowboys started winning a Super Bowl, Jimmy was getting all the credit, and Jerry wanted to have fun with his toy, and he had gotten by that time the finances right. The money was pouring in. Is that a too simplistic look at what happened?
All right, so I get it. Now hold on. Now this coach, Dave Wanstead, disregard, please, Cowboy Nation, disregard a little bit from Colin Cowherd. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna call the man out of his name, Army Mom, but I feel, Cowherd is funny. That is funny, but disregard what he's saying, right? I don't want you guys to miss the meat worrying about the potatoes. I got the meat right here. I got the full substance. I got the beef and everything, Law Nation, Connor Williams, LVE, Tyron Smith, and La'el Collins need to go. Zeke is having a Dak moment. We saw too many senseless penalties committed. Out of that list, I appreciate you so much for the donation, man. I really do appreciate you. Out of that list, you got to figure out how to keep La'el Collins. Just because the coaches didn't know how to utilize La'el Collins is not Collins' fault. Tyron Smith, he's long in the tooth. You got to figure out how to bring in somebody that can replace him. Not now, but, you got to bring in somebody that's comfortable enough to come in. Connor Williams is over with. LVE, hey, he was the only person that showed up pretty much on the linebacker outside of Parsons in that 49ers game. But I get it, LVE could be sayonara for him. But out of that list, Connor Williams got to go. Yeah, I agree with that part of it. But let's listen to Dave Wanstead. Y'all just pay close attention, and I'm going to read out all of the super chats when everything is done. How about that?
No, I think that, number one, Jerry played football, right? He had a son, Steven, who was a quarterback at Arkansas. And Jerry was very involved with the program, watching practices. He had an office that looked right down in Fayetteville, looked right down on the office. So he was a football business guy. He wasn't Wayne Huizenga, who I worked for at the Dolphins, who was worried about starting another Fortune 500 company. And that's all he cared about. So Jerry, I think that football part of it, but I sat there, what you're talking about, and I remember Jerry saying to Jimmy, hey, Jimmy, I've invested everything and cashed out all I got. So between the two of us, we've got to make this thing go. So I've never let that thought leave my mind when I see Jerry Jones and I hear some of the things, because I was there. I mean, I know how invested he was. To your point, where did it go astray? The first 2 years, there was not. I mean, Jerry was doing the marketing, and he was organizing TV stations, and he was bringing the Blue Star, his own TV show, and everything right into
Who remember Blue Star?
So we wouldn't have to go out. He was looking at how we could make a buck, changing the advertisement, all that stuff. And I can remember when it happened. It was our last year. It was a Super Bowl year.
Listen, pay attention.
Traditionally, we would head out for a jog around noon. And Jimmy always kind of wanted he believed that you got more done out in a social situation than you did sitting around a boardroom, because guys would relax a little bit, say some things that they might not say otherwise, and everybody, and we would still get it done. So we would take these jogs 2 or 3 days a week. We would run a couple miles and then walk back, and it was all football. Who we playing? What's going on? Was it draft? Was it summer training camp? Was it season? And we're heading out, getting ready to go, and Jimmy come walking out of the locker room, and he did his press conference right before this. And he walks out, and they're setting up tables and chairs all through this one press meeting area. And I can remember it like yesterday. Jimmy turned and was asking the guys who were setting it up, what's going on? And they said, Jerry's having a press conference. And he said, he is he? And had no idea. The week before that, I don't know if I think it might have been Troy.
Y'all, hold on. Y'all all late. I'm already talking about Sean Payton left the Saints. Y'all all late, but I appreciate y'all informing everybody else that's here. Y'all are late. Y'all about 30 minutes late. But let's go.
We turned the ball over 2 or 3 times. And one of the questions to Jimmy Johnson was, Troy Aikman had a couple turnovers.
Listen.
Is it? And Jimmy said, let me just say this. Whether it's Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, Jay Novacek, our tight end, if you turn the football over, we can't win and you're not going to play. Well, 2 hours later in the press conference, it comes out and they ask Jerry, what do you think about? And he says, we're fine. There's, basically there's not an issue. Well, that was the beginning of the end of all of a sudden there's more. You can only have one voice. And from that day on, Jimmy just kind of had his guard up, and that's when Jerry started having his weekly press conferences, and he was serving steak. I remember that. He was serving the media steak. It was the best press conference in time to come after those guys come just to eat. But he filled the room. He filled.
All right, so it's this right here, Cowboy Nation, that we was talking about earlier, that it became 2 voices in the locker room. One being from, and people fail to realize, Jerry Jones is not just the owner. He is the general manager, right? So he's supposed to evaluate and of course, go over players' performance and everything like that. And he goes over all of the coaching's performance as well, even if it's just by title alone, but that's still his title, GM. So the problem is when you have 2 masters, right? and think about this. Think about this, Cowboy Nation. Hear me out. Hear me out. When you have 2 masters or 2 people running the house, even the kids know how to play on that, right? I got a daughter, and I can clearly hear mom say, hey, no, you can't have this juice. And about 5 to 10 minutes later, she know that daddy got the heart of gold. I would give her just about anything. And I'm already hearing my little one saying, Mama, can I have this juice? Can you open this up for me? And she says, no. And then she go left, go right. She sneaks. I'm on the couch, on my edge of the couch, chilling, you know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden she tapped me. Dad. And I'm like, what's going on? Can I have this juice? One time I made the mistake and said, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then she continued to drink, and I opened the juice up, she drinks it. And then, wifey come around the corner and say, hey, what's going on? What's going on? I told you can't have the juice. But she said, Daddy said I can have it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm in trouble. Boy, why you giving this girl the juice? Her teeth gonna fall out of her face. And all this type of stuff. You know how that type of talk. Y'all know how it goes. Kids, even at the youngest of the age, they know how to play against the 2. And she's 4 at the time. So now when she come, Dad, can I have this juice? I look her right in the eyes and I say, well. I'm watching TV right now. What you want? Dad, can I have this juice? I say, what did your mama say? You know what I'm saying? See, now the balance of power is kind of equal, See, but the kids know how to play against the 2. And I hope that you guys understand that when you have this type of stuff that's going on in the Cowboys atmosphere, where Jerry Jones got an open door policy, and the coaching staff may have another philosophy and thought track. Whereas they say, and I'm not using this, Cowboy Nation. Yeah, Jonah Hill, she got me. She's very crafty. And, she figure out other ways too now. Kids are crafty. She's 5 now, and I promise you, at 5, she appears to be on the mindset of 21. You know, I told her, hey, when you turn 6, you're going to have to start paying rent, you know. But neither here nor there. You know, we give them tough love over here. I'm quite sure that even Ezekiel Elliott, and I'm just using him as an example. Don't crucify me and don't shank me with the butter knife, Cowboy Nation. I'm quite sure that Ezekiel Elliott could go into Stephen Jones' office or Jerry Jones' office and say, hey, they phasing me out of practice, Jerry, and I know for sure I can stay in the game and help you guys win this weekend. I can keep the quarterback upright. I can stick and stand tall in the A-gap when they blitzing through. And coaching may have a whole nother philosophy. And then Jerry make the phone call. And I'm just speculating. I'm not saying that Jerry do this. And Jerry say, hey, why 21 don't have the ball in his belly? And if we lose because 21 is not out there on the field, you and I are going to have a conversation.
The room.
Do you remember the moment Jimmy said, I can't do it anymore?
You know, it was interesting. After the second year,
Hold tight right quick.
I was at the Bears. North Turner had just left. And remember the first part of this story now, our noon jogs. And we did these jogs at Pitt when Jimmy and I were assistants. We did these jogs at Oklahoma State. We did these jogs at University of Miami. So this was nothing new. This was he wanted to have his guys, his inner circles, he called them, get around him. And when I left, Norv left, Tony Wise, the line coach, left. We were out on Jimmy's boat, and we were down in Miami, and it was me and him and the wives and our attorney, and we were just sitting there, and we had been sipping a few Heinekens during the course of the past 10 hours, I think it was. And Jimmy said, you know, Dave, he said, boy, this is a challenge. You know, he says, fun of this thing is really, I'm really having a challenge with this. And he didn't go any deeper. And then I was we were up in Orlando at the league meetings, and that's when everything broke loose. Jimmy and Jerry had some words. We were at the meetings, and we used to sit together at all the NFL meetings. So I was waiting for him down by the lobby, and he came down and he had that look on his face. And I said, meeting's this way. And he says, not my meeting. And he was heading for the door, and he was driving a Corvette then. And he jumped in that Corvette and gone. And he left the meetings. And so I went in and I started saying, what happened? And that's when they said that, you know, the comment that Jerry made in front of the media that he could get 500 guys to coach the Dallas Cowboys and win a Super Bowl. And one of the media guys or somebody, I'm not sure who, called up to Jimmy's room and said, well, you're missing a good one. Let me tell you what was said. So that kind of was, but I think at that point, Jerry believed that he could win, Colin, and do it without Jimmy Johnson. And Jimmy was the guy. If Jimmy wasn't going to be the guy and he wasn't going to be the voice, he wasn't going to share that with anybody.
Well, Barry won for a couple years, and then over time, I thought Barry was a little over his head. You know, I was saying something today. If you look at the NFL, 13 of the 14 highest paid Cowboys, Dave, are players they drafted. Now, that would seem like the right thing to do. But the truth is, teams that are much better than them, Kansas City, Buffalo, the LA Rams, Seattle, many of their top players are not guys they drafted. Their loyalty is the best player available. And I said, when I look at the Cowboys, I see it's almost like Walmart, the Walton family. It's a very insular business, and they don't listen to a lot of outside voices. And the Cowboys, if you look at their roster, outside of Amari Cooper, it's, hey, we drafted him. We know what we're doing. We don't need your opinion, and we're going to pay him. I mean, the Rams have Whitworth and Jalen Ramsey and Matt Stafford and Robert Woods.
I think
All right, I'm back. What did I miss, man? Not much, huh? Barry wrote off of Jimmy. Yep. 95 team is the GOAT. We won with Switzer. Got some bad news. I'm getting a deck build on the back side of my house, and I'm also getting a storage shed, and they already poured the concrete, but it's the wrong dimensions. It pains, man. It pains. So that was my contractor that was calling me, and I go back to saying measure twice, cut once. But should have measured twice before they poured that doggone concrete. All right, so y'all don't know how hot I am right about now. All right, so where did I miss off at? Because I left off on I just let the audio play. I don't even know what he
It goes back to when we were there, because we won. We were the youngest football team in the NFL, and we won the Super Bowl. We were playing basically with a bunch of young college kids that like just playing the game. And I think that's the foundation. That's the DNA that Jerry Jones has in his mind. And there's no doubt in my mind that's why that happens. I mean, he believes it can happen that way. And I talked to Jimmy earlier this morning because we were talking about the article yesterday and what Jerry said. And there's no doubt about it that Jerry has that blueprint of what Jimmy put together and how we did it back then. And that's how he sees it being done. And he doesn't want to waver from that much.
It's funny.
Well, show of hands, who are in favor of what they said about the blueprint of winning the Super Bowl or just winning in general with young team? Because I look back at this team and what Dave is saying, regardless of what Colin Cowherd had to say, them boys are right on the money. This is a young team. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a young team. A super young team.
Jerry said, Jimmy's my friend. And I kind of rolled my eyes and I thought, well, they wouldn't spit on each other. If Jimmy and Jerry were in the same room, would it be cordial? What's it like now?
Yes, it would be cordial.
And that was the end of that. So I want you guys, let me see.
I'll tell you what's happened. Jimmy, obviously going into the Hall of Fame, there's 3 Dallas Cowboys going in for our Cowboy fans out there. They know this. Cliff Harris, Drew Pearson, and Jimmy Johnson. And Jimmy was moving ahead full speed with his little party, as everybody has parties. And Jerry and him talked. I don't know who called who. I think Jerry called Jimmy from the yacht. Jerry was out on a boat somewhere, and he called him and he said, hey, we got 3 Cowboys going in. Why don't we have one big Dallas Cowboy party? And let me kind of organize it. So Jimmy and Jerry, they talked within the last month or so, and that's what's going to happen. So the party is going to be a Dallas Cowboy party, and there's going to be people from the Drew Pearson, Cliff Harris era, and Jimmy Johnson era all together. And Jerry's kind of coordinating the whole thing. Again, Jerry's in charge.
Jerry, you slide devil, you. I'm glad I played the rest of that. I played the rest of that, but click that link right there. Go subscribe to Colin Cowherd's podcast, his independent podcast outside of the he worked for Fox, right? Outside of Fox or what have you. And be sure to say, hey man, Law Nation sent me. I just played. Now y'all don't have to do that. My biggest thing was it hit me. And I'm not trying to use curses as a situation, but it hit me. It hit me, Cowboy Nation, right before we went into the playoffs. And I said, dang, because it was a tweet that somebody tweeted out to Jimmy Johnson, and they said, Jimmy, have you heard any announcements of you getting into the Ring of Honor? And Jimmy pretty much responded, have not heard a word from Jerry, with a little sad face. And if anybody know Jimmy, man, you know, we talked about Dick Vermeil, who's the crying coach, the weeping coach, right? But Jimmy is very emotional too. You know, Jimmy is very emotional, and he uses emotions as his strength, right? His anger as his strength. He's a short, stubby guy. You know what I'm saying? So he was always the shortest guy probably in the room. And he used that for his strength. And one thing that can really hurt somebody is when you line to kick it. So I then respond and said, man, come on, Jerry. This is not the way. Come on, man. Be a man of your words. And I said this about 3 or 4 weeks ago. To release the curse, right? Cowboys are not going to go far if you continue to have this pretty much curse on it, you know, it's a shame. He lied.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Jay Farm said that tweet is still there, by the way. Yeah. So I need to go look at the tweet. This is the thing. That hurt for somebody to say, hey, I'm going to put you in a Ring of Honor. Right? And I said, man, we would not win a Super Bowl until Jerry Jones be a man of his words to put this man in the Ring of Honor. And I know people going to look at it and say, well, no, Law, if Dak Prescott can hit his targets, right? If Ezekiel can run off the edge, it's not the player's fault. Or it's not Jerry Jones' fault, I meant to say. It's not Stephen Jones' fault. There's no such thing as curses, right? You don't have to believe in that. You know what I'm saying? The Cowboys just suck, you know. And it seems as if, though, what can go wrong, and I'm not finna say this verbatim for what Stephen A. Smith say, but it seems as if, though, a black cat is walking around, and what can go wrong will go wrong. 14 most penalized team since 1996, right? There's no other team that got more penalties. Shout out to you, Dennis Bryant. Appreciate you. If you Dennis Bryant cousin, shout out to you as well. Because we can have everything. Look, we can have everything in order, and something goes wrong each and every time. An injury, a freak accident, a negative test on Parsons, you know what I'm saying, that throws the momentum off. You know, it can be the smallest thing. This says, get Romo ASAP. We all love Dez Bryant. And a lot of people gave me so much slack yesterday. That was my first time in a long time deleting my Instagram photo of what Dez retweeted or what Dez sent out to Tad Prescott. But I didn't delete it for what he said. What he said was partial. You know what I'm saying? It's partial. Yeah, reach out to Tony Romo. Reach out to all of the greats. If I'm the quarterback, I'm trying to get any competitive edge I can, right? But his response was very simpish. You know, his response was against man law as it relates to putting another man's phone number out there, right? You just don't do that. That violates all man law codes, right? If you got a disagreement with me, you know what I'm saying? Let that be a disagreement with me, but don't put it all out. And even if I call you clown, I'm telling people right now the DFW is big, but it's small. It's big, but it's small. I got some, in this phone, I got people number too. I got players' numbers, man. and it'd be crazy for me to go back and forward and then be like, okay, Antoine Woods, you said this. Let me post this up. Let me post your number out there for the world to see. Nah, I can't do that. When he said we will see about it, I got his number right in my phone. Come on, man, y'all. It's codes to life. And shout out to Dez Bryant. You know, I'm about 9-10 years older than Dez. I get it. We all been young. We all made foolish mistakes. But come on, man, you just don't do that. But I respect Dez as it relates to what he said, but I didn't like the aspect of how he did it, Cowboy Nation. So speaking of that, and this is not for me to, I saw this floating around, and this is not for me to take a grenade and throw it at people. It's not for me to take a grenade and throw it at people, but let me put this out there. All right, so this was floating around, and I'm just, don't crucify me, Cowboy Nation. So, Dak Prescott in 16 games, 37 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 4,449 yards, 410 of 596, 66.6. That's a bad number, by the way. 666, baby. Completion percentage, 7.5 average yards. The nearest comparison, and I'm not saying, don't crucify me, Cowboy Nation. Let me just blew it all the way up. Let me just put it right here. That look better. I'm not saying that Dak Prescott is. I'm not saying that Dak Prescott is Pat Mahomes. I'm not saying that. Pat Mahomes in 17 games, 37 TDs, 13 interceptions, 4,839 passing yards. And that's out of 43 for 436 for 658. That gives you 66.3. That's a 7.4 average yard per pass. What I want people to do is this right here. Even though those numbers, you can argue and say, man, those numbers, man, they nice or what have you, and they're very comparable to Pat Mahomes. Very comparable. But they inflated because you got to play the Washington Redskins, Washington football team twice, and you get a chance to play the Eagles twice, or the Giants or what have you. And we can't use those same numbers there. Level of competition, et cetera, right? Dak Prescott can't make up his own schedule, right? But what I want people to do is do this right here for your boy. If you can find a way, Cowboy Nation, to figure out things that he do good and work on those things that he do good and minimize the things that he do bad. That's what we trying to do. That's what we trying to figure out. How can we get Dak Prescott to continue to do the things that's good and minimize the things that he was doing bad at? One thing that I can tell you, numbers are numbers, right? They don't tell the full story. Like, we can look at, like, when we go into this draft session, right? We go into the draft season, there's going to be people that run 4.3s. There's going to be people that run low 4.4s. There going to be people with gaudy numbers as it relates to interception. But are you playing your duties and your responsibility right? Do they fit in a certain system right? So what the coaching staff got to look at, not look at Dak Prescott as if he's not Josh Allen, right? Not look at Dak Prescott as if he's not a Lamar Jackson. Not to look at Dak Prescott and say, man, he's not a Tom Brady or a Matthew Stafford. Or he's not a Pat Mahomes. No. You look at him like, hey, you are the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Heavy is the crown. You're going to get scrutinized more than any other quarterback out here. So it's imperative that you get on the same page. It's imperative that, hey, those numbers look good, by the way, but we need to also, winning games in the regular season is cool, right? 12-5, you can't argue against that. But we need to figure out a precise plan so that when we get to the playoff, which we are, right? We speak it into the existence. We get into the playoff. But these are the things that I must, as a coach, put before you to make everything wonderful. a good running game, right? We're going to establish the defense to get the same thing that they did last season, right? It helped us out. We 12-5. Establish the front five, the offensive line, because us complaining about the moon is not going to go away, right? The Cowboy fans complaining about the moon is not going to go away. You may not like the sun. Newsflash, it's been here before you. It's not going to go away. So stop being whining fans and complaining. Dak Prescott for the 2022 season, he's not going away. So either you're going to pick up your bags and run off and go to another team, or you're going to sit there and say, okay, all right, let's start telling, if you start doing this enough, I guess, and looking at the positive aspect of it and say, all right, if we 12-5 right now, how can we figure out a way to improve this offensive line? How can we get the running game better established? Can we go back to the balanced approach? What worked when we were 6-1? Some people said, Jay Lombardi, Dak is my quarterback. I feel you. But, man, if y'all read the comments every single day, hey, man, Dak is not elite. I want you guys to do this too. The people that say Dak is not elite, just say, yeah, he's not elite. But he's the quarterback for the America's team, the Cowboys. And regardless of whoever say, well, the Cowboys are not the America's team, you can't help what nickname they give you, right? That's the nickname that was given to the Cowboys. Eric Griffin says schemes of players. Yeah. Bear 24 says y'all can stay mad. Dak the guy. I feel you on that, right? The one black guy. That's a funny YouTube name, man. Dak get killed for playing the NFC East, but Brady played against the Jets, the Bills, and the fans for 20 years. F out of here. You know what I'm saying? I absolutely get it. I absolutely get it. And here's the situation with that. What saved Brady was early success. And like I said earlier, early success can be your failure or it can be your future. So when Brady got that early success, keep in mind, for those who didn't pretty much watch football at that time, defense, he managed the ball, managed the game, I meant to say, and those core philosophies of everything that guy, Rodriguez, I think you text me that long principles of what Tuna said to Tony Romo was from Bill Belichick to, I guess you can say, to Tom Brady. Help me out. Did Bill Parcells coach under Bill Belichick, or did Bill Belichick coach up under Bill Parcells? Can somebody answer that question for me? I'm gonna read your comments. Just waiting for y'all to put your comments in there. Yep. Let's see what your comments do. Anybody know? I want to see. Let me see what we have here. Somebody finally said it. Dre says Belichick coached under Parcells. Bill Parcells was Bill Belichick coach. So I'm quite sure that rubbed off and all of the greatness that you guys see out of Bill Belichick, he learned from Bill Parcells. And I'm not saying that Bill Parcells should get all of the credit, right? Bill Belichick had to coach up and he do his thing, even though he got the cheat notes, right? Oh, my goodness. Bill didn't want that Jets job without Bill Parcells. So I just want people to understand that. So what I want to do here is listen to these guys from 105.3 The Fan, and they talked about the difference between Mike McCarthy and Sean Payton.
This feels like, to me right now, a one-year sabbatical. That's not what I would want. I want as much hype around here, storylines, and improvement, which I think Sean Payton would be to Coach McCarthy, even though Mike was, has been very cool with us on the show for 2 years. But this is feeling like a one-year step away, and then Sean Payton comes back to a new job next year. That's my feel.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. That's probably what's going to happen. I'd rather this. See, here's the problem. I am dead set against giving compensation for a coach.
Right.
What if it's a fifth?
I mean, I'd probably give a fifth.
But I'm wondering, and especially after hearing the lovely Mrs. Benson speak, if she would do Sean a favor. Now, it's dumb business to do him a favor within the conference, within the NFC. But I'm wondering, hey, you've been a lifer here, second longest tenure of any coach behind Belichick. We owe you. You got a ring. Go to a situation that you really like.
Yeah, I mean,
that's wishful thinking.
Now, this was sent to us on Twitter about the difference between Payton
Sean
and
and RJ.
Yeah.
Sean and
By the
RJ
way, would
show.
you give up a first-round pick for Belichick?
No.
Let me pause these guys right quick. Let me ask y'all, would you give up a first-round pick for Bill Belichick? Kumbaya for that first-round draft pick for the Cowboys. For Bill Belichick, let me see what y'all say, man. Would you give up a first-round pick? Look, I get it. The Patriots got beat down in the playoff this year, right? But, man, if you look at the collective, you can't even name me the wide receivers Mac Jones was throwing to over there. You can't even name me. Look, if you just try to really think hard, you can't even name me the running back over there in the Patriots land. You know what I'm saying? Yes, indeed, man. Forget that first-round draft pick. And, hey, Mike McCarthy, man, we love you, baby. You know what I'm saying? Negative, he too old. No, I want some old-school football look, I really want some old-school football for this particular team. You still got some tread on the tires for Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard is remarkable, but it won't be none of that nonsense over here. And if you like what you've seen out of Dalton Schultz, but you have to re-sign Dalton. But you like what you've seen out of Blake Jarwin. If anybody could get those tight ends going, would be Bill Belichick. And excuse me. And if you guys want some hard nose, some hard teaching for Rain Dakota Prescott, that's worth the first round draft pick. You're paying $75 million to this quarterback. Give him some hard coaching. Shoot. That's Tyreek Hill is fast. Yeah. That's an understatement right there. Yeah. Let's listen to these guys some more.
No.
Would you give up a second?
No.
Wow. Woo. Why not?
Because the most valuable resource you have in a capped league is a draft pick.
Okay, but my 50% chance of the first round versus the chance that Belichick improves you.
A 50% chance of the first round.
First round pick. The impact, the odds.
It's Sean and RJ show, 105.3 The Fan.
The draft pick helping you more than if Belichick was your coach.
But see, I had to pause these guys once again, and I love their show, by the way, from 105.3 The Fan. The Cowboys are picking right at the 24th pick. Impossibly. What you're talking about and arguing about, especially right around that back end of the first round draft pick, it's possible. Giving up a Taco Charlton, right? Possible. Giving up an LVE for Bill Belichick. It's possible for giving up, I think, who else was drafted in the 24th slot? Was it, I think Dez Bryant was drafted at the 24th pick. But naming some of the players, Cowboy Nation, who is drafted beyond like the 20-ish, no Charlton, Tacos. I know LVE was drafted in the 17th or the 18th pick, right? But neither here nor there. I would go with Bill Belichick. I would go with Bill Belichick, man. Forget that 24th pick. We'll figure out if you trade back in anyway. Dez was top 20. All right, appreciate you. We drafted Mo Claiborne with the top 10 pick. Yep. And somebody else at the tip of my tongue. Was it Felix? Was it Felix Jones that was drafted with the 26th, 27th? Oh, Travis Frederick. What pick was Travis Frederick drafted with? I wouldn't give up a Travis Frederick, though. But wait a minute. Would you give up a Travis Frederick caliber player for Bill Belichick? Byron Jones, that was the other guy I was looking for. Isaiah, appreciate you. You're a real one, man. Appreciate you. Byron Jones, right? Zach Martin. What number pick Zach Martin was? All these late 20s. And that was a problem with the Cowboys for multiple years. We never got a chance to pick low because we was like pretty much right in the middle. Martin was 19. So see, now we ain't getting rid of Martin. Right. So Cowboy Nation, yeah. Because any of those people that we drafted anyway, we don't have a Lombardi, we don't have a Lombardi. We don't have a Lombardi within the last 27 years. And I think that Bill Belichick got 6 of them in the last 27 years. So, I mean, I think that he can recreate some magic with this particular team if he was coaching his team. And I know he's long in the tooth. Let's go.
Better odds with Belichick.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I guess it depends on what you think.
Oh, I got you stumbled.
The individual player and the cap room that you get from having a cheap player who turns out to be a good player. I mean, would you rather have Bill Belichick or Micah Parsons this year?
No, because we ain't picking around that time frame.
That's a 50% chance of Micah.
Right, I know, but
because they bust.
Bust.
I'd rather have Micah.
Yeah, they do bust. There's no doubt they bust. That's why you've got a draft position.
Would you rather have Bill Belichick or Taco?
TJ Watt. I'd rather have TJ Watt. Exactly. I'd rather have TJ Watt.
Anyways,
but I see the point. I see your point.
That's a side discussion.
But, this is interesting. Right. 15 years for McCarthy, 15 years for Payton. Mm-hmm. Their winning percentage is 631 to 608, which is close.
What?
One's got 89 losses, one's got 92. They both have 7 division titles. They both have 4 losing seasons. One's made the playoffs 9 times. That's Payton. McCarthy's made it 10 times. I don't know how that's possible. Oh, I guess never mind. Payton's 9-8 in the playoffs. McCarthy's 10-9.
Hey, before they go further, see how stats work? Jason Garrett never had 4 losing seasons. See how stats work? And Jason Garrett been coaching for how many years, right? He never had 4 losing seasons. You see? So, look, being right in the middle, it hurts when you're a coach, right? It hurts because you need that extra oomph to get you over. But neither here nor there. I'm not finna say that because somebody gonna yell out, well, see, Law, I'm telling you, man, Dak Prescott is average at best, hey. But when I pull up this thing right quick, we say Dak Prescott in 16 games, 37 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, right? Pat Mahomes, 37, and 13 interceptions in 17 games. But here is the cookie. When you slide up a little bit, and he says, the person that sent me this, he says, imagine Dak Prescott with Andy, though. And I'm not finna do the comparisons analysis of Andy Reid versus Mike McCarthy. I'm going to ask y'all beautiful people right now. Would you rather have Andy Reid or Mike McCarthy? I digress.
So basically,
Or would you rather have Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy coaching the Cowboys? Or would you rather have Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore coaching the Cowboys?
it's the same.
Yeah.
Payton's been to 3 NFC Championship games. McCarthy's been to 4. They're both 1-2 or 1-3, and they both have that one Super Bowl title.
It's identical.
And they both had their careers mirror each other.
Yeah.
And they both had
Hall of Fame
one
quarterback.
of the 5 greatest quarterbacks of the generation.
So why the difference in perception?
That's a good question. That's a very
There,
good question.
there is a no doubt difference in perception.
I think the difference is
Nobody, even McCarthy's best friend, Jay Glazer, no one would list McCarthy as a better coach than Payton. Why?
I don't know. I think
It goes back now. Y'all see how that stat line go, right? Just like y'all would say nobody would list. Nobody would list Dak Prescott better than Pat Mahomes. Nobody would list that. But the stats are so mirroring, right? But let's play a little bit further. Let's play a little bit further.
reason might be, and I'm just guessing, is that they think Aaron Rodgers, they think Sean Payton made Drew Brees. That's the only thing I could think of. And that Aaron Rodgers was not made by Mike McCarthy.
I think the difference, one of the differences is we don't have any negative stories between Brees and Payton. That's the main. I think that's the main thing.
And but I also think,
the stories were that Aaron Rodgers was tired of McCarthy. He thought McCarthy was maybe lazy, and then McCarthy got bumped down after Green Bay because of LaFleur's record there.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
I think he did.
So I think we never had any acrimony. That's a negative word, right?
Yeah, it is.
We never had any acrimony between Brees and Payton. We did between Rodgers and McCarthy. And then when McCarthy left,
Bitterness,
yes.
So, shout out to you, Cal. Law stop. He's not close to Mahomes. And that's the whole point of me having this dialogue, my guy, Cal. So, in the same breath, is Sean Payton close to Mike McCarthy? Is Mike McCarthy close to Sean Payton? And there's no way we can really decipher the two, because when you start talking about closeness, and let me hold you to that, Cal. Let me hold you to this. He says, "Law, stop. He's not close to Mahomes." So let me raise you. Let me raise you one. If Sean Payton, if Mike McCarthy is not close to Sean Payton, is Mike McCarthy close to Andy Reid? And let me go a little further. Let's be real. Is Eric Bieniemy and Kellen Moore is in the same room? Are those guys on the same level? Keep in mind, Eric Bieniemy, this is not his third year calling and drafting up and bringing up plays. He was once a running back. I think he even played for the Eagles, what have you. Got in good relationship with Andy Reid and everything, right? And he's been on the staff since 2013, drawing up plays, creating things for the running back. And then he ultimately got his promotion in 2017, I believe, or 16, to be the OC. So we're not literally comparing apples to apples. I believe in the hearts of hearts that Andy Reid mixed in with Eric Bieniemy forgot more football than Mike McCarthy. Believe it or not, unless Mike McCarthy going to call plays this year because we still got the jury out for him, but forgot more than what Kellen Moore know in football, and especially as it relates to game decisions and beyond. Because believe it or not, even with Alex Smith, the Chiefs were still winning their division and going to the playoffs with Andy Reid. And still top, I believe, respectfully, in offense. And we're not finna go down the road of what Andy Reid did in the Eagles lands, right? My goodness.
Perception is LaFleur allowed them to thrive more versus Mike's final days there.
That's very fair.
But the records are identical.
Everything's pretty much the same with those two. And now I wonder, but here's the other thing. Like, even before the Mike McCarthy massage article or whatever, I don't even think he was ever in the same discussion as Sean Payton nationally before that.
Ooh, deep conversation. That was the end of that audio. Be sure to check out these guys over here on 105.3 The Fan. I put the link in the description there. My God. Well, yeah, he said, I get what you're saying. My guy Kyle says, I get what you're saying coaching-wise. And let's just say fair play is on the field. Can you see the difference between what I'm saying, Law? I get it. I tell you what. And that's a fair assessment by you, Cal. And I'm not finna go back and forth talking about players, skill set, or what have you. But I just don't believe even Pat Mahomes win that game if Tyreek Hill don't catch that deep drag. You saw that deep drag across the middle and the way he got that separation and bent and got upfield. Let me ask you this. Would Cedric Wilson score off of that play? Reid, Payton, McCarthy won with quarterbacks, Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Reid never won a Super Bowl before Mahomes. Reid had McNabb, McCarthy, and Favre. No Super Bowls. This is from Quincy Sand. Let me tell you this. If McNabb wasn't throwing up in the huddle, how many points did they lost to the New England Patriots that game? The Eagles versus New England. Because the Eagles had pretty good defense that year, by the way. Sean Payton look like Dennis the Menace all grown up. He do. Scheme plays a major role. And I'm not trying to circumvent what Dak Prescott need to improve on and say that he don't. Dak Prescott got a plethora of things to improve on. To counter that statement, McCarthy, yeah, he won a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, but they had a tenacious high turnover defense that was taking the ball back away, and Charles Woodson got injured before that game, and I get it. But when you look back at that Super Bowl that Pat Mahomes won, it was due to the creativity also of Eric Bieniemy. Let me know who was the running back was that had all of those yards. But 13 years from now, 20 years from now, the running back name will be gone and forgotten. Everybody will only going to look at the quarterback. Just like this past weekend, nobody's crediting the 3 turnovers, the 3 interceptions that Ryan Tannehill threw. They're only looking at, hey, Joe Burrow, he's a legend. Look what he's doing, And granted, yeah, he had 9 sacks or what have you. He got sacked 9 times. But nobody's saying, look at the kicker. He made that kick. They're only saying, hey, these are the things that he was able to do to win the game. But collectively, football purists will say, hey, it's a total team sport. It's not an individual thing. Let me know if I'm wrong. Nobody's going to remember the 3 interceptions that Ryan Tannehill threw. They're only going to say, hey, Joe Burrows, he got all of those playoff games, more than what Tony Romo and Dak Prescott got right about now. They're not finna go back and forward and talk about how it all occurred, just winning the game. But he's going to get all of the credit, and that's just how it goes. Nobody's talking about, even right now, Jimmy Garoppolo. 2 playoff games without even throwing a touchdown. Nobody's going to talk about that. They're only going to look at the fact that he won those playoff games. They're going to say he won those playoff games. The defense, 20 years from now, defense, on that defense, the only person they're going to remember is Bosa and Warner. Everybody else is going to be gone, forgotten. They said, they had somebody else, Armstead or something. No, he's going to be gone and forgotten. But they're going to remember the playoff game that was won by Jimmy Garoppolo. They're going to say, Jimmy won that game. Jimmy, that's just how it goes. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. Laces out Marino. And I promise you, Marino will trade all of his career stats up to get what Trent Difford held, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the year. Or what Brad Johnson held up. Or what, I can go on and on. I can go on and on. All right, so let's get this thing on the road. It's 3 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock.
Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for real, down for line. Keep it super thorough my way on this side. Keep it super thorough my way on this side. Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for real, down for line. Keep it super thorough my way on this side. Keep it super thorough my way on this side. Mobbing with my brothers, there's no question, keep it real. Whether we East coastin' or we in the hidden hills. In the poppin' straps of blue faces, not the pills. Heard you callin' bluffs, I show and prove it, it's for real. Son of God, not a son of Sam. Keep it off the books and keep it coming in. Bitch, the old whip, see what I'm coming in. The inside caramel just like 100 grand. Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for real, down for life. Keep it super thorough my way on this side. Keep it super thorough my way on this side. Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for real, down for life. Keep it super thorough my way on this side. Keep
Got the 908. 908, you live.
Hello, you hear me?
Yeah, you live. What's good? What's good? Talk to me.
It's Swayze. It's the
Swayze.
objective Cowboys fan.
What's good with you, Swayze, man? What's good with you, man? Talk to me, man.
Yeah, like I said before, I agree with everything you basically said. I mean, it's a bit exaggerated, but I agree with it because at the end of the day, Dak Prescott, he's good enough to win the Super Bowl. It's just that we got to understand who he is. You feel me?
Mm-hmm. You still there? Hello? I think I lost you, Swayze. Hello? All right, call back, man. Is Dak Prescott good enough to win the Super Bowl? Yeah, Brad Johnson was good enough, Trent Difford. And I think Dak Prescott is better than those guys, including Eli. But you got to figure out what's his strength, and you got to figure out, okay, now you know what the weaknesses are. We don't have to figure that out, Cowboy Nation. We know what the weaknesses are. So improve on the strengths. All right, so we got 972. You live.
Yo, D-Law, what's up, man? What you think about what's gonna go on with Amari Cooper and all that, man?
I think that they would love for him to restructure. I think that they would love for Amari Cooper to restructure his contract so that they can use some of the money to get some legitimate free agent in his house. I think that that's what their angles are.
So who did they let go? D-Law or Amari, or who gets restructured? Well, I just didn't like the tone that everybody was thinking that there was too much pressure on Amari Cooper, that he was, he was unvaccinated and all this, but, and then he's under the radar and all that stuff. I just felt like everybody, I listened to 105 through the family a lot,
right,
and they were bashing a lot of Amari Cooper and stuff, and I was like, man, I don't like that because every time Amari Cooper on the field, he gives the offense a better chance. You know, it's just nobody's scheming up plays for him to get open and stuff. That's why the offense is struggling.
Yeah, look, this is the thing. The Cowboys organization got to understand that, yeah, they didn't utilize Coop this year. But dog it, going into this season, the coaching staff got to figure this out. And it seems more than likely that Kellen Moore will not get an offer elsewhere, and he will be still here. So either Mike McCarthy going to shake this thing up, or what's going to happen, if the Cowboys go on like a slow start, they fire Mike McCarthy and they elevate Kellen Moore as the head coach. I can clearly see that happening, believe it or not.
Also, what about the whole thing in the playoffs, man? But why we didn't give Tony more touches? Like, why he didn't get all those touches and we let Zeke out there struggling? I feel like why we gonna put the marketing over production and stuff? I feel like that hurt us a lot too. And as a Cowboys fan, you know, I try not to be that engaged no more in the games no more because, like, man, I just hate getting let down after 2014 and that Dez catch. It just been hard being a fan, and I'm like, man, it's the same bullshit all the time, and you know, it's hard to keep facing this team like that, and this organization, you know, putting the marketing first over wins.
No doubt, man. I know the frustration. I can hear it in your voice, man. Unfortunately, man, that's just the way this team been. Just disappearing in big moments, not drawing up and crafting up the best plays possible to put your playmakers in position. Look, for only 4 touches of the ball for Tony Pollard, that's not good football, man. And 14 penalties in a game, that's not good football. But I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for calling in from the 972.
Thank you, man.
It's a good call from him. All right, so Swayze, just call back in, Swayze. I don't see you anymore. I hope all is well with you. All right, so we got the 817. You're live.
Hey, this is John McCann. What's up, man?
I mean, all is well, man. I can't complain, man. Talk to me, man.
So, you know, we talk about, I was saying we want this accountability. We love holding players accountable, and there's definitely an element of truth to that we need to hold these players accountable, and we may not have seen that the way we expect to from Mike McCarthy. Like, we fans loved when Chris Richard was yelling at coaches and you know, yelling at players and getting mad and getting people's faces. We ate that shit up.
Right.
But to me, like, how do you balance that with today's NFL? This isn't the Jimmy Johnson era. Like, we all talk about the accountability that Jimmy had with those players, and probably what drew some of the strife between Jimmy and Jerry was Jerry's, you know, nepotism towards his players, the way he kind of brings everybody into his family,
right,
especially the ones that get franchised and stick with the brand. You know, how do you balance that accountability with this new NFL where you can't just go bang on these are adults. These are, you know, the kids don't get coached that way anymore. They don't get yelled at like that anymore. So how do you balance that? What is the proper expectation as a fan of what accountability should look like for us? I think that's
Well, this is the thing. My mama beat us, you know, when we were growing up. I don't beat my kids. You know, I don't hit my kids, you know. but right, it's just a different type of society. Shout out to mama, you know. I love those beatings, by the way. CPS, y'all be too late. You know, she probably beat up on y'all too. But this modern day time, a lot of things are different, right? But you have to set the tone, and it could be other ways. But Jerry Jones and John Stephen Jones going to have to allow coaches to establish that part of it, the discipline part of it. You can't win games with 14 and 15 penalties or what have you. As far as the accountability, you know, I do like what – I know he's gone, but he said each one teach one. There was accountability from Chris Richard of what he learned from the Legion of Boom, and he tried to sprinkle that over here. And that's just what's going to have to happen. So if somebody holding, coach, you got to look at that person and say, hey, you just cost us the game, basically. And hold their feet to the fire. No, hey, I'm going to soft talk you. Hold their feet to the fire. We've seen other teams around the NFL do that. And it's just that the Cowboys don't establish that.
Yeah. You think if, the whole Belichick conversation, I kind of laughed because, it's not going to happen. But
Right,
I think if Belichick came over to the Cowboys, that maybe the rest would give us a fair shot. Maybe that Roger Goodell hate for Jerry gets balanced out with his love for Belichick.
well, I don't know, man. That's a weird one, man. Look, the Dallas Cowboys. One thing I was saying to somebody, if you go back and watch this playoff game this past weekend, one thing that I liked that there wasn't a lot of flags. Right, a big play, you didn't look up and see flag on the field, and if the Cowboys can go through a few games like that, I'll be happy. But it is what it is, man. I don't know what Jerry Jones said to the officials, but it just seems like he just get that stroke of bad luck every single weekend. But I appreciate you for calling in.
Yeah, man. Shout out to you. Have a good one, man. Appreciate
You
it
as well. Appreciate you, man. Good call from him. All right. We moving right along, man. 304, you're live.
Yeah, I just had a statement about about Eric Bieniemy and Kellen Moore, because I see that we already said that. You see how Bieniemy went through the ringers of getting starting early, getting the groundwork in when he had to do it, instead of being handpicked like Kellen Moore. And that's the problem, because when Bieniemy gets the job, he's going to already know how to handle certain situations and certain circumstances. But Kellen is going through growing pains because he didn't put in the groundwork. You can't shortcut the grind. You cannot do that. That's why you always end up like another Jason Garrett. He'll be 8-8, soft-spoken.
Right.
We'll be in a bad predicament here in the next couple of years.
Mm-hmm. People, these players, man, they're human too, and they get it. They see the kid, they get all of the ice cream and the favors, right? And favors, not fair, but it's always necessary to earn it. And I'm not saying that Kellen Moore is trash or anything, by the way. I just think that what we were saying is the growth process. 10 years from now, he may be one of the best coaches of all time, right? Or the greatest coaches of all time. But we're seeing the growth part of it, which is he don't supposed to have it now. You know what I'm saying?
No, not at all. Not at all. He right now, he should be here 5 years from now. This is where he should be 5 years from now.
Right.
After he's put in the quarterback coach and the assistant this and this, that, and the third.
Right.
Then he should be the offense coordinator. Then he should be the head coach.
Right.
But another thing is, if they allow they can't allow Dan Quinn to walk. That's why Jerry hasn't committed to McCarthy, because he does not want Dan Quinn to walk. But what he's going to have to do is Dan Quinn, he's going to have to give him the keys. Because as soon as Dan Quinn got the keys in Atlanta, the first thing he did was hire Kyle Shanahan. So he knows what to look for when he wants his offense to look like.
Man, brilliant point.
So,
oh, my God, yeah.
He knows what he wants his offense to look like. So I guarantee when he says, I want the keys or I'm gone, and Jerry says he's gone, we're always going to be tied together. Because wherever he goes, he gets his offensive coordinator, he'll pull his defensive coordinator, and we'll always be tied together, because it could be the same thing in Dallas. But Jerry said no.
Yeah, and the thing is I like about Dan Quinn, and it's not no mystery. All you have to do is just look up his press conference, and he's assertive when he talks, and it's not nothing to play around with, juxtaposed to what Mike McCarthy, because when somebody lied to you and then they reveal it, all they're thinking about is that doggone lie. At the end of the day, you're thinking like, oh no.
Yeah.
It don't never rest easy, man.
Right. It's just not gonna work. It ain't gonna work. You always got that in the back of your mind, like, this guy's telling another one.
He's telling another one, man. But appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling in from the 304, man. Thank you, man. Yeah, good call from him. All right, so you guys get what I'm saying. And I'm not hating. I'm definitely not hating on Mike McCarthy. His intentions are good. He wanted the job. And old folks say that. Say this all the time. Shout out to my grandmother for this. She used to say this all the time. And trust me, she don't know this verbatim, but she didn't know this actually. But it was just a good saying. There's people in hell with great intentions, right? So you may be intending on doing something, but it's not the right way. Look, we as Cowboy fans, we deserve better, right? From the coaching philosophy. We want people to speak with honesty and truth. From the 5, it moved on me. Hold on tight. From the 5, okay, hold on. Wait, my bad.
520.
520. Okay, you loud now, man.
What's up, Law? This is Luis Jimenez. We haven't spoken in a while.
Right.
Hey, but check this out. JJ may own the team, but that's my team. Okay, I never thought of not being a Cowboy fan, but you know, truth is the truth. You don't want to see your head coach looking up at the clock like it's some device he's never seen before.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It's perception. It's the perception that we have of him, and then the team just lack of enthusiasm. They look like they're walking to their execution sometimes. You know.
Right.
Just not there. I think they could trade Belichick for Van Der Esch or a couple of cheerleaders or something. that would really change the culture. You know, I think Jerry has far more loyalty to his players than they have for him. To be honest, I think D-Law. I think he's done. I don't think he's much of a pass rusher. He did stop the run a couple times. You know, a couple more than that. But I don't know. Kellen Moore, I think he packed it in like halfway through the season. You know, and Zeke, he still ran for over a girl. You know, that's a good successful season. The timing of it was not always there, but I think he's still a better running back than Tony Pollard, and Pollard is good. Don't get me wrong, but supposedly Zeke was injured, right? And he still ran for over 1,000 yards. The offense is
well. This is
really,
the thing, and that's part of the problem is using better. Just use both of them. You know, use one. Just use both of them. Yeah.
The tandem of running backs, of course, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
the NFL went. Most teams have a tandem. You know. As far as Dak, I think he's more into locker room bonding than putting in the work. To be honest, and making those cheesy speeches that are very expensive, by the way, to JJ. Dak used to take a lot of incoming from me, but I realize he is not great, but good enough. You know, most of the time, I think he probably doubts himself sometimes, just based on his body language and the look. But you know, when he was throwing, and Troy Aikman said it, if Michael Irvin was single covered, you throw it up every single time. The receivers got the better chance of making a play on the ball, you know, like
no doubt, man.
Being covered, single cover.
I appreciate you for calling in. Thank you so much, man. Thank you, man.
All right, take care.
Take care. All right, so first and foremost, we don't want to say, okay, versus, right? Pollard versus Ezekiel Elliott, 1,000 yards versus no 1,000 yards, what have you. And my thing is with Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott was on his way until we got into the Patriots game. And then the Patriots game hit, the whole wagon fell over, right? All of the goods fell out of the wagon, and we had nobody to pick those things up and put it back into the wagon, right? It was just up and down, up and down, up and down as far as the rest of the season. And, of course, we're going to throw in the fact that the quality of competition will always be mentioned, and we can't help who we play. Matter of fact, I'm kind of glad we do play the NFC East team. I like whooping up on the Eagles, the Giants, and the Washington football team. I love it, right? But let's continue to do that, by the way, you know. But my thing is, as far as work efforts, I think that Dak Prescott is a real sweaty guy. You know, he sweats a lot. He put in that much work. Now, the thing that we got to see from Dak Prescott to what Troy Aikman said, two different eras, and on top of that, Troy Aikman, look, it'll be a miracle for Troy Aikman to throw 37 touchdowns in a single season, right? Or for him to throw 25 or 30 touchdowns in a single season, because the coaching philosophy was different. Ground and pound, you run the ball, you create those things to make it equal. You know, he said, yeah, I would throw the ball into single coverage all day to Michael Irvin. But that's also tongue-in-cheek because you got the front five and you got Emmett just sitting back there gobbling up 5 and 6 yards per. So I just think that the nature of football changed since then. And what Troy Aikman, I want you guys to take that with just a little tongue-in-cheek. Okay? Let's just get that out of there. If you put a good front five in a running game, then you will see a better game. All it takes if you guys to do a quick Google and look up Troy Aikman without Emmett. Let me know what you find out. All right, so I got the 240. You're live. DMV. Is it DMV, George?
Yo, what's up, Law?
What's good, man? Talk to me, man. Talk to me.
Before I get into my points, I just want to address the Michael Irvin thing that he just said, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin thing. I think Dak's mom, before she died, preached to him not to turn over the ball.
Right.
He took that throughout his whole career, and I think that's why Dak turns the ball over, but that's only when he tries to do too much, and when he sticks to the script, he doesn't turn the ball over.
Big facts.
And that's why we need Dak, because Dak, like from the Amari Cooper situation when Amari Cooper made him change the route. Mm-hmm. Dak didn't want to do that because he likes to stay on the script, and when he stays on the script, he doesn't make mistakes at all. And I think I like the off-schedule stuff that some other quarterbacks bring, but that's why you see cold streaks from quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes, where you see like 10 picks in like a few weeks, where you'll never see a 3-interception game from Dak ever. We've never even seen Dak get benched before, so I appreciate that out of Dak. And I just think after the Patriots game, like you said, who is the best player on our offense, you think, after the Patriots game?
After the Patriots game? The best player on the offensive side?
Yeah, besides Zach Martin, which is the best guard in football.
I mean, you got to add in what Terrence Steele was able to do. But in that game, you got to look at CeeDee Lamb. He was remarkable. And after that game,
I mean, like after going for the rest of the season after the Patriots game,
the most solid player who's consistent. Mm-hmm.
Dak Prescott was the best player on offense, and you guys say he was in a slump after the Patriots game. I would say that. Right.
If you look at it collectively, Dak Prescott, of course, he's still threw for 37 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. But you got to add in too. I think that Tony Pollard since then was pretty remarkable too, with the limited amount of opportunities.
A lot too. That's why our offense started getting hiccups, because Tony Pollard was forgotten way more in the last 6 games than he was in the first.
Some of the people in the comments saying Schultz. Let's not forget about Schultz.
Schultz was good.
He was solid.
Great fantasy. He was great fantasy tight end and great production. But Dak Prescott was the best player on our offense, and I think we can't forget that. And I just want to mention that about the penalties before I go. I don't want you guys to say Mike McCarthy needs to discipline the team, or he needs to start yelling at people. Mike McCarthy knows how to teach penalties better than, I would say, at least 90% of coaches, because if you look at his stats in Green Bay, he was consistently a bottom 10 penalized team. And average yards between his coaching career in Green Bay was between 600 and 800. He's never had more than 800 penalty yards in one season in Green Bay. And the amount of penalties called was the lowest was 68 penalties called in the season, and the highest was 103. But besides that, he didn't get above 90. So, and just for a reference point, from our penalties this year, we had 1,100 penalty yards. That's the most Mike McCarthy has ever given up, and we had 130 penalties. And Mike McCarthy.
Well, can I be devil's advocate, DMV? And I hate to use this. I know it can be low blow, but the Green Bay market is different. In those primetime games, he didn't play in a lot of those, or coached in a lot of those. And
Of course.
there's an invisible hand. I promise you, man. That play, look, I want you to go back and watch the play, Aaron Rodgers versus the 49ers, when he right before the halftime. If Dak threw that one, they would have called a holding. Because old boy was getting held. And I get it. Jerry Jones sued the NFL, and a lot of people will say, that had nothing to do with it. But we had different coaches since Jerry Jones, different coaches since 1996, and we are still collectively the most penalized team in the National Football League since 1996.
Yeah, for sure. I believe that's why I wouldn't be opposed to rebranding, to be honest. But I agree that we are. There is no doubt in my mind that there is some animosity against us as the Cowboys. And quick last point, I think we need a new quarterback coach for Dak. Not even saying we need to bring back John Kinley, even though I love them. But Doug Nussmeier, there's no way that you know quarterback fundamentals and tight end fundamentals within the time span of 4 years. I don't know how that works.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you, DMV, man. Thank you so much, man, for calling in.
No problem.
Good call from him, man. Good call so far, man. All right, so you guys get what I'm saying, right, Cowboy Nation? We are, look, and I know it's low-hanging fruit when I say this, like the most penalized team in the National Football League since 1996. Oh, by the way, Jerry Jones sued the NFL in 1996. I can't make this stuff up. Oh, my goodness. All right, so 573, you're live.
All right, buddy, real quick. I'm not going to take up too much time. I love your show.
Appreciate it.
There's one thing I want to say about Kellen Moore is I think he was exposed after that Patriots game, and he just couldn't figure it out. And the most frustrating
after the Patriots game or after the Denver Broncos game?
After the Patriots game.
Okay.
I think he just struggled to be creative, and it really showed in the playoff game because Pollard, an incredible weapon, just was not utilized at all. It's like he was injured and not even at the stadium or something. That was very, very disturbing for me to have the most powerful offense we've had in decades just go to waste. So, like you said, I think Kellen Moore's too young for the job. And as far as Mike McCarthy goes, I'm not sold on him. I don't think he has the aggressiveness to compete in today's league. And last thing for your show, me like everybody else, I think I would just love to see Sean Payton compete at the Dallas Stadium.
Oh my God, yeah, that would be nice to see that. And even though we pulled up coaching records are similar, but I just think that the demeanor is different with Sean Payton. I appreciate you for calling in, by the way. Appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
Good call from the 573. All right, so let's do this. When y'all call in, state your name and how long you've been following the channel. If you're a first time listener or what have you, can y'all do that for me so we can get some names juxtaposed to just your area code. So if you can call in, state your name, how long you've been following the channel or what have you. All right, so we got the 727. You're live.
Hello.
Yep, you're live, 727.
Hey, what's up, Law Man? This is Amos. I've been listening to you, watching you for about 3 years. I follow Mark Holmes, Bots, and a couple other fellas.
Appreciate you, man.
First of all, I would like to say this. The defense. Everybody was talking about the defense, but that defensive rotation when Basham and Armstrong and with Watkins went in there, I got scared because that left the other three-quarters of that old terrible defense that we had a year before. And when they get in, I think offensive coordinators knew that and just took straight advantage of it. You're talking about, how Diggs didn't hold up. But
right.
golly, Diggs couldn't hold up when they went out of the game.
Right.
Second, we should have knew from the beginning when they were talking about, the change in center. Well, let us in training camp. Well, let us try Conor McGovern in center. well, let us try McDermott at center.
Right.
They really don't want to put Biadasz at right now. Anything wrong with Biadasz? No, we just want to experiment a little bit.
Big fact.
Then when you got out the experiment was over with, it worked fine at first. But golly, if you play ball, that does something to a quarterback. When he see his center throw it on his butt all day long, when
Right.
he used to stepping up and throwing the ball. And you got to hurry up because they just got rolling on the ground again. Then you got problems. Then another point I want to make: if you was to clone McVay, put two McVays on the sideline of San Francisco and Dallas, and figure out which McVay would have won that game, the Dallas McVay would have won that game easily.
Right.
Because it was the thing with play calling all together. I don't think Kellen, when he puts his play calling in, he doesn't implement a good blocking scheme to go with his running game. I think his whole play book is predicated on the passing game, which Dak loves. I think Dak and Kellen are kindred souls when it comes to jacking the ball up and trying to score quickly. They'll never try to, like Purcell said, matriculate the ball down the field.
Yeah.
Because there's been instances where you had first and 6. You could have got the 6 yard, but Dak wanted to go out there deep. And then you see Dak sitting up there for a while patting the ball. That's because maybe receivers are not clearing. Maybe they're running too deep. Because you got people who can easily beat man-on-man coverage. There's a lot of flaws from the beginning that we should have seen from the beginning, because we should have known that people was lining up where Biadasz was and Connor was, and was tearing them up every time. They talk that mess about D-Law, but D-Law is one of the few guys that bring fire. If D-Law said, I'm going to bust you in your mouth, D-Law ain't talking out of the side of his mouth. He mean he's going to bust somebody in his mouth. You need that type of fire there. I don't know why people want to think we're going to get rid of him and going to have Parson with that. Dr. Parson needs dogs with him.
No doubt, Amos. Appreciate you, man, so much, man. Hey, those are good 3 points, man. All right, so, yeah, you can't get rid of your dogs, man. You got to have them. And brilliant point, Amos, about what the Cowboys should do as it relates to making things comfortable for Dak Prescott and all of the other things that he talked about, even with the setup with Kellen Moore. But let's dive right into the infamous, man, Coach Marv, man. You're live on the Nation, man. Talk to me.
What's going on, Law? How you doing, man?
Yeah, nothing to it.
Hey, I got a couple of points myself for you. Well, Jerry, if I was talking to Jerry, I would tell him, I want you to do a Jerry move now.
Right.
It's time for a Jerry move. If you want a Jerry move, it's time to do whatever you need to do to talk to Sean Payton and whatever they want to do for draft picks with this young team,
right,
where you really don't need a whole lot because your nucleus is signed through what you need. Go ahead and make the move. The reason I'm going to say this, young teams need experienced, hard coaches. They don't, in the history of football, young teams have not suited well, especially in Dallas. Sean Payton brings one thing that I know if he's coming from a Bill Parcells tree.
Yep.
One, he's not going to allow you to get over. He's not going to allow you to eat the cheese. He is not going to allow you to eat the cheese, and his credibility will speak volumes.
Yep.
Because that will, and you will get some. Don't worry about draft picks. You will get some of these tier free agents just to come to Dallas to play with Sean, to play with Payton at a discount cost. A great coach like that will bring you other things to your program. Law, you have been saying the greatest things about utilizing your players the best.
Right.
Listen, for your players to be great, you have to utilize them in the things that they do well. Cowboy fans, let's stop falling in the traps of the haters out there that want to blame everything onto your quarterback.
Right.
Because I watch other teams where, let's put it like this, San Francisco got a quarterback that everybody's been hating all year.
Ooh.
But he's in the NFC Championship game.
With no touchdown. Hey, Coach, did you
That's
coach
right.
high school or you coach college? Which one was
I
it?
coached college. I did a little grad assistant in college. I coached high school.
What A? I just wanted to know, like, what was it? 5A, 4A, 3A?
3A.
3A.
I was to my alma mater.
Oh wow.
To coach at my alma mater, and then health reasons got my blood pressure and all those things. Got to the point where I had to let it go. But
let it go.
I was mentored by some. I was mentored by some great guys. I remember I played for the infamous Coach Willie Bailey for Norfolk State University, and he just got inducted into the Black College Coach Football Hall of Fame. Coach Willie Bailey.
Yeah.
But a lot of these things that we talk about, law,
right?
They're common sense things, man.
It's common
Football
sense.
is just like life.
Look. Let me tell you this, Coach. No offense to 3A, you know what I'm saying? My school was 5A, and the way the coaches would go into it, it would be like, man, we finna play this 2A or 3A school. They may have only one person out there that can really hit and really do some stuff, but man, 5A, man, dog, coach would make sure that when we get on there, you know what I'm saying, that we're gonna make sure that they're gonna pay. And that was just from the mentality, because we knew that we were just better. From the resources, from the money. Now I get it, football done changed a whole lot. But Coach, how did you prepare your boys when you were 3A versus maybe a more dominant school, a bigger school?
Well, Law, I coached for my team that I coached.
Mm-hmm.
We had a hard time getting 5A guys to play us. Because we were
you wanted it.
We may have not had the depth, but we put a lot of guys in college. So we had a lot of 5A schools would not touch us because they didn't want the ability to look bad.
Right.
So you have some programs like that.
Right.
But you have to, what you teach it when you're going against Goliath, right? You don't teach the guys about what size they have.
Right.
You teach the mind and the brain to be able to overcome any obstacle by doing the things the right way. And if you don't get a full victory out of it, the reward that you have of what you have accomplished would carry you on to go over a lot of other mountains that you may face. So that's what and I think the Cowboys, and when you want to relate that back to the Cowboys,
go with it.
We need someone that keeps the middle ground. See, we go from dry to hot, and we be thinking about Super Bowl, and we got a quarterback. I want a coach to come in and say, "Nah, are we thinking about Super Bowl? No, I'm thinking about getting better every game. I'm thinking about winning the division. Is Super Bowl your day? No, we're thinking about winning these games. Because why do we need to? We need a coach in Dallas that kills the noise inside the star, and that's a special type of guy. And I believe Sean Payton is that guy. I'm gonna tell you, Mike McCarthy is not that guy.
No
he
doubt.
Is not that guy.
No doubt. I appreciate you, Coach Marv, man.
Let me say one other thing, Law, right quick. The reason why I say Payton is not going to compromise what he believes in because of Jerry Jones, because he got weight. Jerry can't go out and make him look bad because Sean Payton is already coming in with weight.
No doubt. Appreciate you, Coach, man. Thank you so much, man. Good points.
Keep doing what you're doing, Law.
Appreciate it. Coach always bringing in good points. All right, so I hate to budget bumper, Coach, man, but Sean Payton just tweeted or spoke to one of the reporters. He said, on speculations of him coaching another team next season, I get it. I understand it. My plans are not to be coaching in 2022. That's just how I feel, So that's how he feel right now. That's just what just been announced by John Machota. Shout out to John Machota All right, so let's get right along with the program. I got my guy, Scott, man. You live, man. The famous Scott. You live, man. You famous.
Hello. How
Yeah.
you doing, Lo?
Yeah, man. What's up,
Hello,
man?
Cowboy Nation. How you doing? Not too much, man. I just I just got out of school and just got home, man. And being a school teacher, we go over math, the continents. I teach middle school,
Okay.
And I just want to throw a simple math equation out. How many Super Bowls did Mike McCarthy win so far?
One.
In his 10 years, coach.
Is one. Who got
How
one?
many did Sean how much did the Saints coach win?
One.
He won one.
Mhm.
Okay. Now I've been watching football for a very long time.
Right.
Since the age of 4. Been a Cowboys fan since '88. I don't understand what's so big about Sean. Sean is a great coach, good coach. But, I don't believe in conspiracy theories or nothing like that. But he did win when Hurricane Katrina. That was 2005, coach.
Right.
That was 2005. Timothy Wright had a good song. Say, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus.
I think
Yeah,
he won. He won in 09 though. He won in 09. Katrina happened in 05.
09, my bad. That's when that was. 09. 09, okay. They haven't won since. Okay, McCarthy won in 2010, correct? Haven't won since. Okay, so we were saying that we want Sean Payton over here. We want this one over here. Man, we'd have Bill Parcells here, Hall of Fame coach. We still couldn't get over the hump. We had, other coaches here, not Barry Switzer, but other coaches here, and still couldn't get over the hump. Dude, let's give McCarthy a fair shot.
Right.
I will go back and say this all over again. Jimmy Johnson, if social media was out when Jimmy Johnson took over this team,
Right.
I believe as controversial as we are as fans against one another, we would have murdered Jimmy Johnson for 1-16 or 1-15, whatever the first record was.
1-15.
Second year wasn't that great of a year. The third year got a little bit better. Fourth year, I think we went to the promised land. Can we please give McCarthy a chance to put his own stamp on his team and go? The man just got us at 12-5. No, we didn't win in the playoffs, and I'm gonna tell you why we didn't win. Okay,
Break it down.
Remember that the first 8 games we played great. The offensive line was doing a great job. We had Terrence Steele over there handling business like a grown man. He grew from last year to this year, and they kept doing musical chairs with the offensive line. After that, when Dak came back, you put Tyra Collins back in, and then boom, Dak on his back like a mammoth jumper. Yeah, he straightened his calf, but I don't believe that's the reason why all the hoopla was going on. The offensive line kept changing. All of a sudden, we had our running back, Zeke. Zeke had 143 yards. Y'all said the man was dead. He had, 95, 113, and then 143? Come on, that don't seem like a dead person to me. After that, he got hurt. And now all of a sudden, the playbook got smaller and smaller. Kellen Moore did not open up that playbook like I thought he was. In my little small brain, because I was so optimistic, hey, they holding it back a little bit.
Me
Let's
too.
go to the playoffs. We already got everything sewn up. So we got everything sewn up now. We holding back a little bit. And soon as you got to the playoffs, that playbook was still small. You never opened up the playbook.
Let me ask you this before you go. How many years you been coach? How many years you been teaching those kids?
This is my third full year.
Third full year.
Yeah. My mentoring program that I have been up since 2018.
2018. I can't use. But you better this year than you was your first year, right?
I am. Yeah.
How things working, man?
Year,
you know how to handle the kids. You know how to handle the parents.
Last year, I backhand 3 students and knocked them on the floor because they got on my nerves. This year, I take them and I hug them now. I don't backhand them. I hug them now. So I got better. And then on top of that, this is a new generation. A lot of them mamas fine, boy. I got a lot of fine mamas. Man, even kids that got straight A's, I still call them for a teacher parent because I'm like, sir, I got straight A's. I'm like, you can do better. You can do better than straight A's.
You do better. You hold it to a different standard. hey, but your fourth year, you gonna be. Hey, this year you gonna be on point, right?
Each other year, I'm going.
You on the Kellen Moore timeline because this is your third year going into your fourth year.
Right.
But go ahead and finish your last point.
Now here's the thing, Cowboy Nation. I want y'all to understand this. When you watch the playoffs and the last games that we've seen,
Right.
They opened up the playbook, but they got it to the dominant receiver. If their receiver was balling, they did not take the ball away from them.
Right.
Why did we not continue to go to Lamb or Cooper? Now, Lamb dropped some, but Cooper was catching passes.
Right.
We did not feature Cooper, even when Scott Linehan had Cooper. When my man that said that, when Coop told that to change the play and he caught the ball and scored that touchdown, remember the next game and the rest of the games that Scott Linehan did not go to Cooper like he did. And people say Cooper fell off. No, they did not go to that man like that. And Kellen Moore did the same thing. When Cooper did that interview and said, I can help the offense. I can, be better. This next game, he scored 2 touchdowns and it was balling. Tell me what Cooper did the rest of the games after that. They did not go to him like that. It's not because he's not running precise routes. They would not do it. I don't care. Be a diva. Be a diva and give the man the ball. Give me the ball. If I'm killing everybody and I'm getting open, give me the ball.
Yeah.
Okay, spread it around to everybody. All the little kids, everybody get a little piece. Everybody get a little piece. But I'm the biggest kid on the block and I'm killing everything. Let's go. Give me the ball.
Yeah, Scott, you right on it, man.
If we would have done that, look, Deebo Samuel. Okay, this man is a running back and a wide receiver at the same time. So what does San Francisco do? We're going to continue to feature him.
Right.
Gave him the ball at the end, got the first down, game over. San Francisco win, and you say your boy didn't throw not 1 touchdown. Ain't nobody dogging him out.
No doubt, man. Good
Cowboy
observation,
Nation, stop
man.
fighting each other. Y'all stand me. Cowboy Nation, we just need a little bit of help.
Hey, I see you on IG, man. You be regulating in the comment box, though, man. You be look, they be coming at you.
You saw Dez Bryant jumping on me yesterday, man. That felt good.
Yeah, I said, if anybody, man, you had Dez, man. I had to go ahead and delete the IG page. Not the page, but I had to delete that content off of it, man. But you was famous, though.
Hey, I was famous for a little bit. Dez Bryant talking to me. That's cool, man.
Yeah. We appreciate you, man. Famous Scott.
Man,
oh, my gosh, man. Oh, man, for those who don't know, I got an IG page, man, and I post, man, on IG. And Dez done fooled around and jumped into the comment section about what he said. And he was trying to check him, but I was like, man, I said, let me go ahead and just take this down. I just took the whole thing down because it just muddied the waters, man. If you guys get anything what I'm saying, it muddied the waters because people were more saying, yeah, Dez right. But I wasn't even talking about what he was saying. I was talking about the fact that he was doxing. Shout out to Dez, man. He was all in the comment box. But I said, man, you know what? Since this thing is just going to keep going on and on and on and on, I'm going to tell y'all something. And I'm just being transparent with y'all, man. I get mad. I get angry. But I don't stay mad for a long time. I get mad that one little time I'm mad at you, and I'm upset. But then the next day, I'm over it. I'm back to thinking. Like, y'all remember when I called him the play-by-play? Going all the way back to the Cards game, the Arizona Cardinals game. And if y'all can go back and watch the play-by-play, I was livid. I was so mad at Dak Prescott for fumbling that ball. And when he threw, I think he threw interceptions in the Cards game. But I was more mad about the fumbling, right? And, I was livid. And in the playoff game, I was hot. Y'all saw me. I was hot. 4 million degrees hot when he threw the interception in the 49ers game, But I don't stay mad, man. But some of y'all, baby, y'all will stay mad for a long time. And what I do is I'm mad. I'm angry. I got my measurements. I count to 10. I count to 10. And then I get over it. But some of y'all ain't gonna never let it go. Whew. All right, we got the 909. What's on your mind?
Hello?
Yeah, you live.
Hey, brother, how you doing? God bless you, man. I'm Henry calling from the West Coast.
Henry, man, appreciate you, man.
Yeah, basically, man, I've been a Cowboy fan since 76, as long as I can remember. But is it Mike McCarthy or is it him being handcuffed when he came into the building? I mean, he inherited Kellen Moore. He didn't get to, Nolan was trash. We all understand that.
Right. It was his boy.
They brought in Dan Quinn. That was his boy. I get it. But at the same time, I mean, we want to bash him, man. But discipline, I played football.
Right.
here in California. Discipline and structure, the structure has to be right. Now, when they were beating up on the NFC East and the penalties were still there, and I was telling people out here, I'm like, yeah, they winning, but this is a problem. This is a problem. But we as fans, we overlook it. But now that it done came to the forefront, everybody want to magnify it. But when it was all good, we didn't have a problem with it.
Right.
That's all I got to say, brother. You know,
But you
God
know,
bless you, man.
appreciate you, man. You're right on the money, man, with it. You know, penalties, man, sometimes can get overlooked, right? And you said you play football and you know how this thing got to go, right? When we winning, everybody grinning, but when we lose, everybody mad, right?
Right. Execution, man. I mean, we had a lot of unforced penalties. Now, yeah, they called a lot of stuff that was debatable, some things, but some things that we shot ourselves in the foot about.
Yeah, but let me say this though. You right on the money. You right on the money. Mike McCarthy, like my guy, shout out to him, Boss Cowboys Sports. Y'all be sure to follow him. We call him Unsullied Mike, right? He got his goods cut off, you know. But Mike McCarthy looking at it just like, hey, what's your name, fam?
Henry, brother.
Henry, brother. Henry.
Yeah.
You just like me. I'm just like Mike too. If I get on somewhere, I'm reaching out to Boss. I'm reaching out to my guy Big Game James. I'm reaching out to Vach. I'm reaching out to Skywalker. Say, hey man, I got this opportunity, man. You know, I'm gonna put them on. But then again, there was conditions attached to it. Like he put all of those people on, and I'm not trying to give an alleyway for Mike McCarthy. But it seemed like, hey, you got to bring Kellen Moore along too. And he like, do I really? Yeah. But then he brought Kellen Moore along. But then guess what else he did this year? He put a spy. He put Ben McAdoo, with him.
Yeah.
And Kellen Moore might, man, he brought Ben McAdoo with him. So Ben McAdoo could have been like the Trojan horse with Boss Cowboys saying the spy. And Kellen Moore like, man, I ain't finna give all of my good stuff to Ben. Ben asking too many questions now. Ben trying to get those secrets to go over there to Carolina land, whatever he at now. So it's so many. That's why I said what Mike McCarthy should have done, Henry, is just, man, say, hey, I feel you, Jerry, but I just got to bring my people that I trust. I got to call the plays,
I mean, we acting like he's not a made man. I mean, Mike McCarthy should be a made man in the NFL. They say, oh, he's down south, he's this. Oh, well, the NFC North is soft, so he was able to go through there. He had the two greatest quarterbacks of all time, whatever the case may be. But he's still a made man, and when you go into a situation, you want to change it to your way or you handcuffed to do this, it's kind of hard. So everybody want to point the finger at him.
Well, Henry, before I let you go, he better make it. He better make it this year. He better. He better do it this year. Not saying we got to go to the Super Bowl, but we better not see some of the same issues that we had this season and last season. He got to step up and snatch that playbook and say, hey, I'm gonna go down with the ship, because this is third year now.
Well, see, that's what I was thinking. When he came in, we know he's an offensive play caller. He couldn't do it, so he had to bring Kellen Moore with him. He might wanted to run the ball more.
Right.
Kellen Moore got pass happy, and it seemed like it got predictable down the stretch as far as running the ball. You're like, come on, man, really? Or you want to dink and dunk. I don't see nobody going vertical. Everybody doing 5-yard in cuts, 5-yard out cuts, and Dak is under pressure, and if he's not accurate and he's not on, that happens. I don't think they use the play clock right as far as just not. I'm not even talking about the last play of the game in Frisco. I mean, the game against Frisco. I'm talking about period.
Right.
Everybody wanting to rush up to the line of scrimmage and get in there and get the advantage. But okay, if you go first down in this -2 and you get back up there and you rush it again and now you're going 3 and out. Now you behind the chains. They went down there and scored. Boom, boom, boom. Now you playing catch up. They weren't even playing methodical football.
No doubt, man. No counteraction, man. About. But man, that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff from you, man.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to the West Coast all day, huh?
Out here in the 213. So it's all good, man. God bless you, and I love your show, man. I check all you guys out. I love it when all you guys are on together, and I just get a track of, man, because obviously it comes on different times on YouTube. So I put the earbuds in my ear. My wife like, what are you listening to? And I'm laughing at all you guys making points, man. And I love it, man. And hey, brother, keep up the good work, and I'm praying for you.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you, man. Oh man, good call from him, man. Good call from him. Oh my good. And I'm not giving Kellen Moore a pass, nor I'm giving Mike McCarthy a pass, nor am I giving anybody on this team a pass. I'm not. I promise you, I'm not. Let's keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. If you already called in, please hang up. I'm trying to get the people who've been waiting patiently, man. 817. Is this you? Hold on.
Yo, Law.
Yeah, what's up?
Man, bro, we need to give Mike McCarthy another chance, man. Bro, we stuck with our last coach for 10 years, my man.
Right.
10 years. And you're going to expect Jerry Jones to fire this man after 2. Nah, bro, he ain't going to do it, bro. He ain't going to do it. He's just not going to do it, man.
He's frustrated. You can tell that he want to do it, but he got to hold on to it. Yeah.
And it's frustrating because, my man, you got all of Cowboy Nation frustrated and arguing with each other. What we should do? Should we get Payton? Should we get this? Should we fire who? Should we do this? Man, it's crazy, bro. It's just crazy how we're all just turning on each other, my man. We're trying to point the finger at one person. It's Coop. Nah, we should get rid of Gregory. Nah, we should do this. Nah, it sucks, man. And then we're $32 million under the cap going into next year. That sucks, man. It just sucks because we're gonna have to let go of somebody.
Well, we got 21 players that's going to fall off because of the free agent status. And the Cowboys, I believe, you know what? Collecting of talent, I don't have any fear of what the Cowboys are going to do because I think that they're going to do a good job regardless, right? And if not, we wouldn't know because the way we pump up players, we would definitely don't know. You know what I'm saying? So with the collective of talent, I think we'll be okay. It's just that now I just want the Cowboys to focus in on their core. Core would be the front 5 on the offensive side and then the front 4 on the defensive side. I believe the game is won and lost down in the trenches, and they need to hold those guys accountable as it relates to the offensive line coach. Make sure that he get the offensive line together. This is what makes it good because they can't hide behind the BS, right? Because myself, Boss Cowboy, Big Game James, Vach, I believe, Scott, we're gonna try to go out there to Oxnard. And we're going to give you guys the raw, uncut stuff, right? We're going to say, hey, man, here they go again with the bull sugar. They moving. Yeah. They playing musical chairs with the center. We're going to call out stuff. Hey, there they go with that same rollout play from Dak Prescott. Look at it. They need to bring – we're gonna point out stuff, That's all we can do as fans, man. We can just point out stuff. So that's what we're going to do again this year.
What sucks for me, man, is I was born the last freaking – time we won, so it's just I feel like, man, time I've been living is just it sucks, man. You know what? I have a coworker, man. He's an Eagle fan, and he hit me the other day, and that shit touched me, man. He's just like, man, I seen one more Super Bowl in my team than you have in your lifetime. I'm like, man, that hits me, man. That hits me, man. We got to do something, though.
But don't let it bury you, man. But just tell them, man, based upon your calculations, in another 50 years, you probably get another one, and we will probably have one before that time frame.
But when does Jerry Jones fire? Jerry Jones, general manager, and we should give it, something working here, bro. It's just I don't know, man. Man, when you made $1 billion betting on yourself, man, you ain't gonna fire yourself. Trust me. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling in. Yeah. You guys get what I'm saying? Like the dude, literally, like one thing, like there's this millionaires don't, and I'm not sullying y'all. You know what I'm saying? Nor denigrating y'all, because I'm not one, by the way. But millionaires don't take advice from broke folks, right? I can only imagine what billionaires do. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna take advice. We could be yelling. We can all paint ourselves blue and run out there to Star Frisco and say, Jerry Jones, fire yourself. Jerry gonna sit back and laugh and say, look at these idiots. Good movie to watch.
trading spaces, or trading places. What it was, Mortimer, you know what I'm saying? They ruined this guy's life for over $1, So these billionaires, man, it's hard. I kid you not, guys, not. It's hard to tell people who make $45,000 to maybe $50,000 a year what to do, right? Jerry Jones make that every 2 hours or so, So I get it. It's going to be hard to try to change Jerry Jones' mind. Yeah, Randolph, Mortimer, I am still not listening to you. All right, so we got the 815. You live.
Yes.
Yeah, you live. Yeah, you live.
Yes, love the show. I'm Brandon. I've been listening to over a year now.
Appreciate you, Brandon.
I just want to call, I just want to question a little bit that little stat you put up about Pat Mahomes and that.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I think it's a little disingenuous, only because of this reason.
Right.
We started the season 6-1. They
Mm-hmm.
started the season, I believe, 3-4.
Right.
So I believe it started 3-4. Pat was throwing the ball in the center.
Hello.
That I'm here. Can you hear me?
Man, it sounds like you're underwater, man. AT&T is messing with you, man. What's good, man? Try to move around. You got good points, but go with it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you better now.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, so I guess what I'm saying is, if Dak is throwing his interceptions towards the fourth quarters of games, interceptions and touchdowns aren't created equal, I believe. So if I just, although they look the same, Pat is going to play in his fourth AFC Championship game. Dak at home. I don't agree with how we framed it. That's all I'm saying.
Now, to quantify all of this, so you think that it would be the same? Can you imagine? I hate to use this as an analogy, but if I pick up Jason, so you mean to tell me if Jason Garrett was over there at Kansas City Chiefs, regardless of what we think about with Andy Reid, you think that he would have took them to 4 straight AFC whatever games, and then all of a sudden they fired Jason and they hired Mike McCarthy in his first 2 years? You think that he would took? Now I'm quite sure Mike McCarthy might have been able to do that, in the last 2 years, but we only looking at it from a year and a half with Mike McCarthy and some of the Jason Garrett skeletons still in the closet over here. And I hate to use coaching as a dividing force, but coaching plays a major role. Juxtaposed to, you look at it like this. Look at it like this. We witnessed Jimmy Garoppolo win 2 playoff games with no touchdowns, throwing the ball.
Right.
Will that happen, or will that work over here in Cowboys land?
I think, look, I'd rather win ugly than lose and lose pretty. I just think we need to hold Dak accountable. Can we just please do that? Don't allow him to, against the Raiders, we get the ball first in overtime and you skip the ball to Noah Brown. We're in a playoff game and you're missing wide open receivers. I'm not saying it's always called left guard stuff, center stuff. I believe his QB coach is non-resistant. All I'm saying is, can we please hold him accountable? Can we not allow him to be in his 6th year and only have 1 playoff win and be like, oh, well, his numbers are comparable to Pat Mahomes? Come on, man. Come on. Let's not use other people to try to prop up that. You can't use. He's in his 4th straight AFC Championship game. And meanwhile, we got Dak and his brother arguing. Well, Dak's brother arguing with Dak.
Right.
I just want to win a Super Bowl.
Now, if Dak Prescott, let me say this: if he was your brother, what would you say about? What would you say? If Dak Prescott was your blood brother, y'all shared the same house and everything, what would you say?
Dez couldn't say nothing to me. Dez got they basically said we don't want you. So to me, that's like a billionaire arguing with somebody making hourly wages. Like, who cares?
Right.
Like, I don't. The point is, we need to hold Dak accountable. That's what I think Dez was trying to say. I hope he wasn't trying to say anything more than that. But you know, who knows what that's really about?
Yeah, because what I'm gonna say is, if you look on the screen right now, you will see that Dak Prescott brother, he retweeted this, and he said it basically. Dez, what are you saying? You was with Romo, one of the person that's talking about reading the defense or what have you, who was 6-10 in 2010, 8-8 in 2011, 8-8 in 2012, 8-8 in 2013, and then when you finally went to the playoff and went 12-4, it was because they decided to say, okay, we're gonna run the ball more than we pass the ball, and on top of that, you got to look at it like this: Tony Romo only threw for 300 yards one time in that entire season. So you want me to take advice from that guy? So I get it where Tad Prescott was hot at Dez Bryant, because he's gonna say, well, in the last 2 years, when you had the chance and the opportunity to play with Dak Prescott, you had back-to-back winning seasons. You never had back-to-back winning seasons with Tony Romo. So that was his argument from a brother aspect. I think that Tad Prescott will go to the edge of the earth defending his brother, right? Regardless of what regardless of what Dez said, he'll go to the edge of the earth.
Yeah, but like Dez isn't the only person criticizing. So I mean, that to me is like it kind of also made people feel like that might have came from Dak too. So when it comes to family members,
it's difficult, man.
That's touching.
It's really touching.
So it's touching. I ain't gonna. That's why I'm not gonna. That's brother defend him. But all I'm saying that's small. The bigger picture to me is we got to hold Dak accountable. Kellen Moore can no longer be our OC. I don't care if he don't get no coaching job or what. If Mike McCarthy gonna be a lame duck, let's give him this last season to prove what he can do. Let him call plays. Kellen Moore, I'm done with him. I just want to hold Dak accountable, and we for surely cannot let Amari Cooper go. I don't know what this little groundswell of let Amari Cooper go, where it's coming from, but that's crazy. CD has proven he is not a number one yet. Sorry to say it, but it's just the truth.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, man, for calling in, fam. Good call, by the way. Good call. Yeah. And valid point, though. We do have to hold the quarterback accountable. I'm not sitting here saying that, hey, we look at the quarterback and say, hey, he's faultless. People will say, Law, you're a Dak Prescott apologist. Remove me out of the equation. If I had a brother that's playing in the National Football League, I'm yelling, no. I'm saying to everybody, my brother's good. My brother's great. And I'm going to defend my brother to the edge of the earth. And I'm going to pick up the phone and also tell him, man, dog, now come on, man. Now, you ain't better than a such and such, man. Come on. Come on, man. This is what you got to do. That's what brothers do, regardless of the situation. Regardless of it. And if you guys got brothers, let me know. You'll call them out, spade or spade. But at the end of the day, it's just going to be just what it is. 502, you're live.
Hey, what's up, Law?
Nothing to it. Talk to me.
The conference has been locked.
All right, so I try to make this call quick. I'm Cody from Kentucky. Been a fan of your show. It's my first full season, really.
Appreciate it.
But really, I just got two questions for you moving forward. It's been a rough couple weeks, man. I'm a 26-year-old Cowboy fan. Really, it's been a rough life. But my two questions, really, just moving forward, because that's all I know, is Jerry's 80 years old, man. I don't think he's got 10 years to wait. Well, I don't want to say that. I don't think he wants to wait another 10 years like he did with Garrett.
Right.
I think we're in for a big splash in the next couple of seasons. Like I really do, and I think this Sean Payton rumor is like just a start to that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's going to happen this offseason. So moving forward, I just wanted to ask you, I saw a tweet today saying that Dallas really loves pipelines when it comes to the draft. Now, like I said, I'm from Kentucky, so we got this kid, Wan'Dale Robinson, projected third-round pick,
right?
Slot guy. I mean, he is a dog. So
slot corner or slot DB? Which one? A slot corner or slot wide receiver? I meant to say.
Receiver.
Receiver. Okay, good.
He's a dog, man. I mean, he was obviously our best player all year. I mean, I'm a Wildcat fan. I'll watch him all year, but
right.
He pretty much won that bowl game for us this year, the Citrus Bowl. So I mean, it's kind of compelling to think about with our situation, receiver-wise. So I really just wanted to ask you what your thoughts were about that. And my second question is really just more straightforward. What are your things you're most excited about moving forward? Because we need some breath of fresh air. It's been nothing but negative.
Oh my gosh! I mean, this is how the first month gonna be until Senior Bowl hit open, and that's when I guess. This is how it's going to be until after the Super Bowl. I've been doing this for a long time now. So until after the Super Bowl, we're going to have this feeling, and then we're going to say to ourselves, man, that could be us. And what I want is all of the Cowboy players to really watch all of these playoff games. Don't vacate and go watch these playoff games. And there'll be a ton of Cowboy fans that they're going to try to – this is what they're going to do. I've seen it happen every single year. They're going to mention in a positive way. This is when the media is going to flip it. It's all been negative all year. But right around Pro Bowl time, right around Pro Bowl time, watch. They're going to talk positive about a lot of these guys. There's going to be some more Cowboy players that's going to be inserted into the Pro Bowl due to alternates or what have you. And all of the positive talk is going to hit back on the Cowboys. But I want these guys, if they really – want to send a F letter to the NFL, I almost said the FU letter to the NFL, none of the Cowboy players should show up to the Pro Bowl. That will send a direct message that they are serious about next
They're ready
season.
To work. Yeah.
And they ain't ready about this money. They ain't caring about it. But these guys are going to go to the Pro Bowl, and they're going to showcase, and that's going to bring up ratings because a lot of people are going to see football again with their team with the logo on the side of their helmet, and they're going to talk fluff talk, and everybody going to forget about what happened in the playoff.
Right, the same thing, yeah. I'm just ready for something, man. It's been long 26 years, man.
I know, man, but keep your head, man. It's going to be glorious, man, when you see us win.
I've seen worse than what happened this season, man. There was some positives, man. I think Lamb had a great season.
Right.
Micah Parsons, I mean, he's a stud, man. I mean, he might be one of the best players in the NFL years to come. I think Jerry sees he has a lot of young talent, and he loves the draft. I think he might, this year again we might have a stellar draft. And to come next year, I mean, I'm just not ready to say the sky has completely fallen like I was when Jason Garrett went 8-8 3 straight years.
Right. And a lot of those games, a lot of those games win you in too. So I know the feeling. But appreciate you, man, for calling in, fam. Thank you.
Man, I'm a big fan of the show. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I love it.
Salute. That's a good call from him. Yup. All right, man. We got it down to 8 callers, man. Oh my gosh. Let me take a little break right quick. Woo. All right. 8 callers left, man. 8 of y'all left, man. The final 8. 316, you in the mix.
Hello.
Talk to me, man. Talk to me.
What's up, Mr. Law?
Nothing to it, man.
This is A.J. Jones.
A.J. Jones, baby. What's good, man? You coach, man. You coach Jones, man. Come on, now.
Hey, let me clarify some of this BS that all our fans complain about, man. Your quarterback ain't no good. Did you not go 6-10 without him? Do we know what we were when we had Tony Romo? Everybody always say how great he is. He was good. And he was a fourth quarter comeback guy. But we was terrible. Hell, we can't take good lemonade without sugar. These folks must be drinking plain Kool-Aid. Because you only got one horse to get you to the Kentucky Derby. You can't jump off of it in midstream. Green Bay Packers
13-3 2 years in a row. What you think they feel like? Oh yeah, some real Sally. And then everybody wants to talk about Dak sucked. Well, he sucked in that game, but we sucked as a team. You let him go down and get 80-yard drive to start the game. 75, let's get it right. Then the next one, they go down and score again. Hey, that ain't on him. You got to do your job. Like Belichick said, one thing I took from him when I went up and listened to the man, he always said, your job. Your job. He don't say, hey, Law, make up for AJ screw up. Coach Jones is slacking. No, you know what he said? Do your job. Make sure you do your assignment. That's the problem. The boys ain't doing their assignment. They ain't got nothing to do with coaching. Coach don't get you on the field and tell you to jump outside. But coaching should have told you that Trent is going to keep doing the same leg movement to get you to jump outside. That's some preparedness. Now, we need a better time management coach, without a doubt. But you can hire that dude. He just standing on the sideline telling you every situation. He not talking to the fans. He talking to only McCarthy. You got that get-back coach, and you got that coach that's up in the player's ass, the strength coach. We don't have that. We got a bunch of guys running around being soft. Hey, right now, ask the Niners fan would they take Jimmy or would they take Tom Brady? Of course they taking Jimmy now. But truth is, you only got one. You only got one quarterback. You only got one coach. Our fans jump all over the damn place. They be divorced 100 times out in L.A. Can't do that. So I mean, I love your show. I'm a big up. I talk to my guys all the time. Hey, I even play your shit in Kansas City. They be laughing. Especially when you say you are now listening to
nothing but the best. Yeah.
Oh man, they copying you in KC, brother.
Oh wow.
And in Denver. Oh yeah, man, they love you. Hey,
oh my goodness, man.
One other thing, real quick.
Talk to me, man.
We need O-linemen. We got to get some O-linemen. If you want to win, you got to have O-line and a D tackle. Hey, we wasn't shit until we got Russell, Maryland, and Leon Lett. Yeah, you're going to look good on the ends, but you got to be able to stop the run, and then, third down, you get after people. So if you get a D tackle, our linebackers are clean, which we need another linebacker. I don't know if everybody noticed, but we're down linebackers. We don't have nothing. You can't go out there and keep the second-string linebacker. He just ain't on the level. You need a linebacker, you need a D tackle, and you need some O linemen. And you can just come right back to the same spot. I'd rather be a Cowboy than an Eagle, Giant, or whatever that team is now.
Washington something, Commanders, I believe.
Yeah, and you want to know something else? All the Cowboy fans be talking, hey, you know the winning percentage of the Cowboys in all the Super Bowls? We're 14% of Super Bowls played and won. That's a hell of a number. There's 31 other teams wish they were that. The only one better is, hey, we got to give it to New England and Pittsburgh. The rest, we're all mediocre, man. There's more to life. But anyway, I love your show. I'm done. I hate it, but I sent you a thing saying 14 penalties. They got to stop it. You saw none in Kansas City and Buffalo. There was one penalty in the 2 minutes. One penalty. That was it.
That would made the game even more desirable without the officials flexing, But I appreciate you, Coach, man. Thank you so much, Coach AJ.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
I remember I'm gonna always call you Coach because you said you was Coach, so I man, I'm gonna call you Coach now, man.
I literally have coached 51 guys in the NFL.
Wow, that's remarkable.
That's a number that I just laugh about. Anytime you want a vacation, you hit me up.
I got you, Coach.
Later.
Appreciate you, man.
All right.
Good call from him, man. Good call from him. Not to be trite, you know what I'm saying? I've read somebody said, man, well, we didn't have nobody to make the Pro Bowl. I hope you guys can see that on the screen, when my guy Romo was playing. But I hope you guys can see this. In 2009, Just stroll over and look at those numbers, man. I think we made like literally Austin Pro Bowl, Leonard Davis. What position did Leonard Davis play, Cowboy Nation? Oh, God, Andrew Gerard, hey, he was a center, but he's a whole lot better than Tyler Biadasz, although he snapped the ball over the head. Mike Jenkins, Terrence Newman, Jay Ratcliffe, Tony Romo, DeMarcus Ware, and Jason Witten. All of those boys made Pro Bowls. And on the defense, first team, Jay Ratcliffe, of course, DeMarcus Ware. This is first team All-Pro, second team All-Pro, Andre Gerard, Tony Romo, second team, and Jason Witten. So let's stop talking about that. Well, Tony never had a team. You know what? Bump what all people say when they say Tony never had a team. Bull sugar. Tony never had a coach. If we had a legitimate coach, man, we were winning at least a Super Bowl. So stop saying that the Cowboys didn't have the talent. Stop saying that the Cowboys didn't have the offensive line. Stop saying that the Cowboys didn't have a wide receiver. Stop saying that the Cowboys didn't have defense. They was ranked top, I believe one year they was ranked number 2 or 3 in defense and number 1 in offense. Stop saying that we didn't have a coach. Now I got that out the way. We got the 503. You live.
Hey, Law, how you doing, man?
And everything is well. All is well. I can't complain.
Right on. I'm calling from the 503, man. Just wanted to put in my 2 cents. Basically, you know, I heard one of the other guys talking about bickering back and forward between the Cowboys and all that. I just want to mention my opinion. All that is checkers, man. The offseason is chess.
Right.
If you try to get rid of some of these picks and stuff, you're giving up some moves later on. That's what it boils down to. So, Dak Prescott, I believe he's the guy. We have had a team around Romo. I'll give you that.
Right.
But
we just didn't have a coach, man. We had look. I'm still hot about it because Jason Garrett. Right. I believe he himself. We love Jason Garrett, the person. I met him, man. A brilliant person, man. But if we just went out and had a coach, I promise you, Tony Romo would have had Tony Romo and DeMarcus Ware. Man, they would have had them a ring with the Cowboys. But DeMarcus Ware went and got him one with Denverland. But go ahead, my bad, dog.
Right. No, I'm with you. I appreciate what you're saying. I mean, like I said, the team was there. I feel like there was just, you know how kind of. Oh man, I guess I'll bring up the curse thing you're bringing up, but things just don't fall in place. Let's say I love Sean Lee, right?
Oh my God,
Lee was the quarterback of the defense. Well, the year that Romo came back and the team looked like it was good, we had some. Correct me if I'm wrong. Had some rookie fall on Lee's knee and he's out the season, right?
Right.
Following year, you know, injuries to Romo. So it's kind of like, oh man, what could go wrong?
Oh, no, don't say to Stephen A, but yeah. Yeah, I think that rookie was Zach Martin. I think Zach Martin hurt. Yeah, I think Zach Martin hurt. Zach Martin hurt Sean Lee, but go ahead.
Yeah, so, I mean, we got a good squad. The one thing I'll bring up about McCarthy, we brought him in for what reason? We took this team over the top because we were stuck in the 8-8, right? Mm-hmm. So, no, we're not going to give him 10 years. Definitely not. Mm-hmm. But you got to give him a fair shake, you know?
Right.
He might not be the raw guy or exactly what the locker room needs, but the locker room needs to step up on its own too. You do have those dogs. You can't get rid of Ware. You can't or Law. You can't get rid of these guys. They made us what we are these last few years. And again, it's hard to find these guys. So the basically the topic about draft picks and bringing in your own. You had that audio earlier. Mm-hmm. For 10 years, they're talking about you give up your draft picks and you bring in these guys, and they don't. You know, let's talk about Roy Williams back in the day. 2 first-rounders, right? I mean,
Joey Galloway, Roy Williams
for the next couple years. Yeah, Roy Williams, right? So I'm not a huge fan of that. I'm a fan of how we're doing it now, how we're building it now, and it just got to put it all together, man. I just want to say I love your channel. Been listening for a while. I have called in one previous time. We were talking about the Dak Prescott and Romo situation, and I was like, man, I got to enjoy this run because we don't know if we'll see it again. Well, I'm glad I enjoyed it for a little bit. That what was it, 13-game win or something like that. So,
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, man, I'll step away. I'll let you keep going.
Appreciate you,
the
man.
Show. Appreciate you letting us have this platform to voice our opinions also.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, man. Oh, yeah. Good call from him, man. I just look at it like this, and I see my guy Jay Form. I know that you like Dirty Red, man, and I know you met Dirty Red. Dirty Red is good. Dirty Red, you know, he's a good person, brilliant guy. You know. I used to have this saying that he take the prettiest girl to the prom every year, you know, and can't do nothing with her because she is his sister. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't talking about Game of Thrones type of stuff. So I get it, you know, Dirty Red or Coach Red, or some people call him Red Ball, Coach Clapper, just wasted opportunities for us, man. If Parcells coached for that amount of years, we'd at least had one, you know, or at least got to the dance. That's all I'm saying. Montana, man, you live from the 614.
What up, Law?
Into it, man. Talk to me, man.
Hey, man. I see everybody want Sean Payton. I'm going to start off with this. I see everybody want Sean Payton.
Yeah.
Sean Payton is retired, okay? He's going to take a step down. He want to weigh his options. You know, everybody believe he's going to be a Cowboy in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
The way Jerry moves, that's not a good fit.
Yeah, because he'll be, what, Jerry would be 90-something at that time.
Yeah, but the thing is, we all know Sean Payton wants control. Jerry ain't having it. Because if he didn't mind control, then he will have a GM. I see a lot of people blaming players, head coaches, certain coaches. Kellen Moore doesn't get an excuse from me. I feel like only way Kellen Moore should stay if he's the assistant offensive coordinator, give him some time.
Yeah.
Joe Philbin, yeah, he's bad, man. He was a bad head coach, so I don't know what guys thought, hey, we're going to make you an offense. Did y'all not see the Dolphins? Outside of that, man, like I said, bro, it's been 26 years and we've been getting the same things under Romo, under Dak, Quincy Carter. It didn't matter. It's the same shit. So y'all telling me that it's these coaches every year? It's these players every year?
That what Darren Woodson said, man. My guy Woody, he said, at some point we got to start blaming the players, and I get it. You know, we can look at it and say that, but it's. I'm not for to pinpoint Jerry. It's just that Jerry don't allow his coaches to coach, and we heard that in the excerpt. And shout out to Skywalker. I see that he's in the chat, man. Shout out to him, and be sure to follow A to Z Sports Dallas. But go ahead, Montana.
I see a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, trade Cooper, this, that, and the third. So I guess people forgot what wide receiver by committee looked like.
Right.
I guess that went over people's head, like, oh, we don't need Cooper. He's soft. He's this. He can't do this. He's no good at away games. And, well, I mean, tell your boy Kellen Moore to get him the ball more. Stop trying to make Dalton Schultz the playmaker.
No doubt,
Dalton
man.
Schultz is an average tight end. He's not no great tight end. He's average.
Well, like the playmaker said, man, and no shade at him, he's a serviceable guy, him and Cedric Wilson. You got to give your star players the game ball. You know what I'm saying? The ball. And that's Amari Cooper as well as C.D. Lamb. But but we'll find out now. If they keep Kellen Moore, then they just keep Kellen Moore, and we see if he improved for the 2022 season. Because it's not up to us. It's up to Jerry. And Jerry got to fall on that, you know. But I appreciate you, Montana. Thank you for calling in, my bro.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you, man. Willie D.
Hey, Law, what's up with you?
Nothing to it, man. Talk to me, man. You've been waiting patiently, man.
Yeah, I know, man. First of all, I had 3 brothers because you were talking about Dak Prescott and his brother.
Yo.
Yes, my brother was Dak Prescott. I will take off for him. But anyways, but all 3 of my brothers, they dead already, man. They had bad heart. I got a bad heart, and the Cowboys gonna kill me.
No, don't let them say that.
Before I die with my bad heart. But thing is, Dak Prescott, it's not Dak Prescott's fault. Nothing. The Cowboy fans, the so-called Cowboy fans, they get on my freaking nerve. I said, man, it's a dude. One of my homies named Chad. He been texting me since we lost talking about F-U-C-K Dak. He texts me that like 3 times a day. I said, hey, man, let it go. I'm trying to tell you. First of all, we had 14 penalties. The O-line sucked that day. And the defense, they didn't really show up the first half. And then another thing, the coaching staff. Put it on that. Why would you defer? I know most teams do that. But the Cowboys should have took the ball first and try to score. I knew once we went down by 10 points, I knew it was over with. I knew I had that feeling like, here we go again. Like DMX, here we go again. I knew it. I knew we were gonna lose that game.
Right. Here we go.
But the Cowboy fans, these so-called Cowboy fans that's getting on Dak Prescott, I'm like, okay.
But you know what, Willie D? You know, it's the same thing between Tony Romo, of course, and what Dak Prescott. Both of those guys, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to kick it to you guys. Both of those guys are so toxic, right? You mentioned Tony Romo in the early 2000s, 6, 7, 8-ish.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to talk about the fumble, the slick ball or what have you. And I was the guy that was battling folks that Tony Romo was better than Phillip Rivers. I was the guy that was saying Tony Romo was better than Drew Brees. And then when the young guy came in at that time, it was Aaron Rodgers. And I was the guy that was saying that Tony Romo better than Aaron Rodgers. Now, I'm the guy that's saying that Dak Prescott is good, right? And that we can win with Dak Prescott. Yeah. So I'm the foe. But know what problem is? Is that all of the people, because I wasn't live on YouTube, Facebook at the time, I was live on MySpace, you know, but because it was out. Yeah. But none of those people are quick to say, well, you're a Dak Prescott apologist. Well, hold on. You know, my love affair for the Cowboys is what I am, you know. But you can't just leave me out and say that I never loved Tony Romo, because I fought for Tony Romo longer. Look what I had to defend. Yeah. I had to defend. They fail to realize I had to defend 6 and 10. That's the year he broke his collarbone. I had to defend 8 and 8, 8 and 8, 8 and 8. And then when we got 12 and 4, I had to defend that. And then to come back Willie D, you talking about a bad heart, man. I had a broken heart mixed in with other emotions. In 2015, I had to defend Tony Romo in that Carolina Panthers game. You know what I'm saying? He come back and threw 2 pick sixes. And, oh, my goodness, it was everybody, mama, uncle, cousin, Tupac, and Biggie coming and climbing out of the grave saying that, hey, look at your quarterback, the person that you defended, you know, and all of these people that come to me to say, oh, you're a Dak Prescott apologist. Look how long I've been defending Tony Romo. Literally. Look, I was young when Tony Romo first started. Look, dog, we had the police coming after me because I got into a fight with somebody, and I had to duck off. I ain't going to say where I was at, but, man, that bar, boy. Boy, I was just fighting. But go ahead. Go ahead, Willie D.
Yeah, so when Tony Romo played her,
right.
I'm trying to tell people, think about when Troy Aikman left. Our quarterback before Tony. First of all, Tony Romo was undrafted, so anything he did for us was icing on the fucking cake.
Yeah.
What do they don't understand?
They don't understand that.
They don't understand. And then Dak Prescott, 4th round draft pick. He was 3rd on the depth chart. His rookie year, he balled out for us. He did that shit for us. And he broke his leg playing for us. Look at us thing. Cowboy fans that be talking about Dak Prescott sucks. He's a bum. And know what though? I got another homie. His name Jarvis. Now, look, I text him this shit. I swear to God. His nephew, his blood nephew, is Jalen Rager, 18 for the Eagles. Jarvis told me once we lost to the Cardinals, he said Prescott is a bum. I let it simmer. I was holding back. I'm holding back. When Jalen Rager must that ball against the Buccaneers the playoff game, boy, I tell you, I take Jarvis so quick. I said, okay, if my quarterback is a bum, your nephew is a homo. And he's bum.
Yeah, but see, Willie D. You see, Willie D. You know what it is. Cowboy fans, they hear this right here, and they be running, man. They be so quick to love somebody else. Like, look, we can sit there and say Joe Burrow had a good game. I could tweet literally right now. I can get off and tweet, man, Joe Burrow's nice, and then under my news feed, Dak Prescott can't do that. Dak Prescott suck, you know. And I'm sitting there like, man, I can't even look and just give praises to somebody else without some wacko to come up here and say, well, Dak Prescott, I can't even talk. Look, this morning I had to add a simple conversation about the defense and the offensive coordinator, and about a third of my comments, Dak suck, Dak trash cot. I'm sitting there like, dude, leave the man alone. Leave me alone. I can only imagine what Tad Prescott get.
I know. I do not get it. At the end of the day, he got a winning record. He done, in the playoff games, excluding this last game, he showed up. Like, I don't get the hate that he get.
Right. And then, hey, Willie D, and then I tweeted out yesterday, I said, man, I didn't even mention Dak Prescott's skin tone. I said, man, I think that some people despise Dak Prescott not because of his pay or his play. Now all of a sudden I'm race baiting. They said, you're that. I'm saying, wait a minute, hold on. If you go back in further history, I said the same thing about Tony Romo. So now Tony Romo, you know what I'm saying? I can't make this stuff up.
Hey, one more thing. The dude that's talking about the dude from what's the school he said? Kentucky, the wide receiver?
Yeah.
Hey, I watched him. I watched that bowl game. If he go 3rd round, the Cowboy, if he's sitting there 3rd round, Cowboy might need to be looking at him, man. He is shifty, he's quick and fast, he got hard, he can catch the ball. I love him playing for us.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look up his film. Can you give me a player comp? Is he like Tyreek Hill or somebody, or Brandon Ayuk?
He like he what's say I root for the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
He better than him. I would give him like a let me see.
Deshaun
like,
Jackson.
Who?
D-Jack when he was rookie.
Look, no. I can go back further. To me, he like an Eric Metcalf. Yeah, he like Eric Metcalf.
I'm gonna have to look into it.
That kid got heart, man. He made 3 plays that game. I said, how the hell he got out of that?
And wasn't that he the slot wide receiver for Kentucky, right?
Yeah. Yes, number 1.
Appreciate you, Willie D, man. Let me get off out of here, man. But appreciate you, man.
All right, now.
Good call from Willie D, man. Shreveport in the house from 318 July.
What up, Weird Law?
Nothing to it, man. Talk to me.
Can't call it, man. I just want to cut in on some shit. Like, I really feel like, man, we gotta really eliminate, you know what I'm saying, distractions and shit. You feel me? Like,
right.
Go way back to what week 1 when when everybody was like, damn, why they weren't running Zeke like that? And then Killamore was like, well, I called this a minute run play. They just checked out him. Like, even, like, I feel like them be type of discretion, like, you could have just kept that to yourself. Everybody could have just, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
Go
right.
on from there to the middle of the season when Jerry was calling people out there. You know, just discretion just throughout the year. You know what I'm saying? That we should just be able to sit down and keep it in-house. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's like a.
You talking about from the fan perspective or from the media perspective?
From the media, like the team, period. You know.
Yeah, but you know one thing though. You know, we fans. You know, we fans, but not all medias are fans. Media is trying to get that money, man. They gonna squeeze and ask questions and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, they gonna squeeze and ask questions.
Right. But you know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know, it probably, like, you know, certain call-outs make people be like that fucking mentality. You feel me? Like, well, you call me out on this, well, I'm gonna give, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give it to him then.
Right.
You feel me? I ain't gonna check out the else. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit like that stuff. You feel me? Like, you never know a person how a person really. And sometimes it kind of look like they play like that, like when Mark Cooper was like, well, you know what I'm saying, I want the ball, but you know what I'm saying, that ain't my car, you know what I'm saying, I gonna do what I want, you know what I'm saying, we'll do
right.
And like when he get on the field, you kind of see that mentality, like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he want it, but you know what I'm saying, he ain't no diva anyway, you know what I'm saying, so
right.
It's like, you know what I'm saying, they get out there, it's like they, you know what I'm saying, they mind just elsewhere instead of just as a unit, you know what I'm saying.
But you know what, you know, that's just how it goes, man. Look, coaching plays a major role on that, but also the media is crafty, you know. For example, they will harp on that. They'll write articles on that. So Amari Cooper, what you mean that you didn't want to you didn't mind Gallup getting the ball on that last play? Or what do you mean that you didn't mind CeeDee Lamb getting the last ball on the play? Because last week you said that you were always open and they will play on that. Whereas if you think about Cowboys content in general, just go to YouTube. It's thousands of us. You know what I'm saying? It's only like one or two YouTube content creators for 49ers, right? And this is what this is, man. It's so many people would rather to be the first person out there to say something or to be the first person with the scoop and put it out there and say, hey, look at me, I hit it first. I'm the one that had this breaking news first. I'm the one told the storyline first. And that's, just think about that on a mega scale. And that's just how the Dallas Cowboys been operated. We get all of these press conferences and we leak out so much material, man. So much.
And you gotta look at you gotta really look at the Hall of Fame, like the Michael Irvin, the Troy Aikmans, and all them dudes. Like when we doing good, they so quick to build them dudes up and say, well, they look like this. The team we had back then, as soon as, you know what I'm saying, we lose, they saying is you know, they blame, they point fingers, you know what I'm saying, which understandable. You feel me? Like we know how they go, you know what I'm saying, but at the end of the day, I feel like sometimes we should just let the year play out. People should just let the year play out. We know this. We know the media gonna boost us up. But,
you know, I shot it down as much as I can, but I had people coming at me. I said, look, let Trayvon Diggs be Trayvon Diggs. But people were literally saying, nah, dog, Deion Sanders never did this, man. He's going to be like Deion, you know. And then I try to shoot it down. You're not a real Cowboy fan, right? You doubting us. And I said, nah. I said Trayvon Diggs is different. And then when the conversational piece came up with Parsons, oh, look at him. He's going to be just like LT or similar. And I said, nah, man, let Parsons be Parsons.
All this right here, like, come on, man.
But that's just how it goes, man. Because every first take, back take, all of those people gonna be saying, "Hey, look, they the one gonna kick it off," and then the media gonna sit there and say, and they're gonna post it and they're gonna retweet it.
Our players, though, like the media know they be doing. They build up our players, though, just to, you know what I'm saying, put that type of pressure and all this here. And you know what I'm saying? You don't see them doing that to them other dudes and stuff, man. There's other dudes that came in the league that's a beast. But you don't hear them saying all that stuff about them people, man. They let them people go out there and play with no type of pressure, and you know what I'm saying? Let them dudes go do them. But as soon as the birds get that star on their head, You know what I'm saying? It's a different ball game, bro. Because the media want to see us lose anyway.
They want to see us lose. Ooh, and then guess what? I want to challenge you. Next week after the playoff game, still watch how many segments is going to be on the Cowboys. You know, and then even at the start of next season, watch how many people going to say Cowboys are Super Bowl favorites, right?
They going to build us up.
They going to build it up. But guess what they going to do it?
Before the season,
yeah, they're going to do it. They're going to do it for the All-Pro.
Yeah. Because they don't want to be proved wrong and we come out rolling.
Yeah.
So they build us up.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
That's why I say the only way they can do it, the only way they can buck the system, fam, if they say, you know what, we ain't going to the Pro Bowl. But money is gonna make them boys go to the Pro Bowl because they're gonna use all of that stuff.
Say, well, you have so many people that come out like Shannon Sharp, so many people. They ain't gonna make the playoff this year. You know what I'm saying? They make it stamp. But for the most part, everybody, the Cowboys playoff, the stands, the personnel, they play out bound, and they be scared to say what they speak their mind before the season because they know that we really is capable of coming out there and blowing everybody's ass up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you already know how that go. But one more question before I get off here, Law. What you think about Sprinkling from LSU? You think he foul? You think we got a chance to get him? If he do foul, would you snatch him? What you think about that?
You talking about who you talking about? The DB? Who you talking about?
Yeah, DB
Stingley. Yeah. The Cowboys.
If he do foul, you think we snatch him? What you think he look like on the other side of D?
Man, they didn't give boss man Fat no playing time, man, and Nashawn Wright, it's gonna be a loaded room, man. Look, if he fall and depending on the board, go with the best player available.
I said, and I like Fat too. I really do like him. You know, that's what I was saying. If he foul, I know if he don't foul, you know, I'm just saying if he foul, like, would you?
Man, that's a finesse pick. We need to get nasty picks, man. Offensive line priority, defensive line safety. That's where I'm looking at. But BPA, best player available, and I'm gonna stick to my guns in this year. I'm gonna try to make sure I gather up all of the content for front five and front four and safety. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the core. My mind is core.
Yeah.
Core.
Yeah, that's what we need. That'll be the best thing, bro. We need to get some, like you say, get back to that offensive line, get some stuff back. You know what I'm saying? Some core things.
No doubt, man.
We still can put a couple more players around Michael Parsons. So it's gonna be a draft. I'm really looking forward to this draft, and I really want to see what they do. It's a lot of places we can go. So
yeah, we undefeated in the draft now, man. That season, it's best. Look, believe it or not, draft season the best season out there because there's no win-loss column, man, and we can just talk about these young kids playing for the Cowboys with the star on the side of their helmet, man. But I appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you, Law.
Appreciate you, man. Shreveport. All right, man. Last caller, last but not least, 562. Patiently waiting.
Yo.
What's good? You live.
Yo, Law.
Talk to me.
What's up, brother?
Nothing much, bro. Talk to me, man.
Hey, all right, check it out. Hey, this is Rob from Anaheim. I want to run like 3 things by you real quick. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you. You good. You good.
All right. First things first, bro. Okay, so have you had a chance to look at the 22 from the Niners game?
Only the last series. I didn't get a chance to watch the entire game.
Okay,
the last two series, I can recall it vividly. Yep.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. It don't matter. Here's my point. That the play that Dak threw that interception on to Cedric Wilson, right?
Right.
Cedric Wilson was running a comeback route, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember, because he was diving down into the ground. That's
yeah, he threw it.
Cedric should be running.
He should. Well, for one, the ball placement on that, it was third and what? It was third and 17 or 8.
Yeah.
Third.
Well, hold on.
He wouldn't get the first down anyway, right?
Before all that, that's not even the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Cedric Wilson, when we see him run good routes, all of his positive stuff is on 2 different routes.
Mm-hmm.
2 different routes. One is he finds a zone right in the middle. He finds that shit right in the middle, right?
Right.
Like right around the middle, boom, in
Mm-hmm.
the zone. Or 2, he finds on a quick slant or a deep slant.
Yep.
That's it. And then for some reason, Cedric Wilson, they had that dude running a fucking comeback route on a cornerback who's bigger than him, and that's the one play they don't call interference on that shit. And then that's the one pass play the NFL don't call pass interference on.
Right.
So if he's got a bigger dude bodied up on him, yes, and Dak fucked up.
Yeah, he did.
Dak threw it out, but that's not a Cedric Wilson route. Is my point.
Facts.
All of his routes all year long, boom, we've seen him running on the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or just quick, or we've seen it in that same game, the pass where the sun got in his eyes, he was open.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
He ducked. And the same other pass where he was open in the middle of the zone again, but Dak missed them in the middle. Those were two of the same passes. The sun in the eyes and Dak missed them. Those were both in the same middle of the zone. That's what Cedric Wilson's good at doing. He's either finding that good soft spot in the zone, or he's on like deep slants or short slants, and he's just gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what Blue kind of fucked me up, dude. I'm like, why is Cedric Wilson running a comeback route? Like, what the fuck? You need a big body receiver to block out the cornerback, right?
Yeah, yeah. If the ball was on the outside shoulder, it should have been in the inside though. And like you said, we weren't gonna get that first down anyway. I would have rather for us to punt it.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, you're right. But my point was, like, that's not even a good play design from the beginning for him.
Right.
Cedric Wilson shouldn't be running that pattern, that route. He should be like out. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Nah, don't bring Cedric Wilson on a fucking like comeback route. Fuck
right.
That. But anyway, so here's two other things, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is a little funny, dude. This is funny. All right, so, dude, you're what? You're 40. I'm 41. You know, you're up there in years, right? So people try to use Dak's salary as like, oh, Dak got paid all this money, so therefore we can't sign this guy and this guy and this guy because salary cap bullshit, right? Okay, so the first 5 years, technically, of Dak's contract, did they sign any big name free agents? No. Right?
Right. I'm following you. Yep.
Oh yeah. Well, they didn't. So that just proves my point, dude. People just follow the media's narratives of this bullshit. Dak got his contract going into his 6th year. And my point is, I'm not just here to protect Dak, whatever. Dak needs to step it up. Like, that's something, that's my last point I want to get to. But my point is, people think like, we can't, since Jerry Jones signed Dak, now we can't get free agents. Well, the first 4 to 5 years, they weren't out signing fucking Ramsey. They weren't out signing fucking anyone. Dude, that's my point, dude. Like, it's frustrating, man. It's frustrating to see people, like, buy into this bullshit that now that we signed Dak, all of a sudden we can't sign someone. Even though before Dak got signed, they didn't sign any fucking one. Any big name.
Well, the philosophy of Stephen Jones is built through the draft, and if you listen to the Dave Wanstead, you know, he said that was the philosophy even then, you know, back in the days, because they won with a young team. So the bloodline of this particular team is the draft, and I believe that that's where they're gonna try to go at, and they struggle because they pay their players, right? They 9 times out of 10 they normally don't do what they did to Byron Jones and let players walk. They normally pay them. So it's just how it goes, man. Unfortunately.
Oh no.
Unfortunately.
I'm totally agreeing with you, dude. I agree with you 100%. Like, we draft awesome. I really do think we draft awesome. But my point is those. Okay, so people say because Dak got paid, we can't get people, right? That's the thing. Well, when was the last time since Deion Sanders that this Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones went and got someone? It doesn't matter on the contracts of anyone, quarterback, defensive end, anyone. They haven't.
Well, you
People
got
are
to
just
look
buying-
at Galloway. You got to look at Brandon Carr, of course, Roy Williams, the wide receiver, and all of the contracts. Yeah, they probably overpaid for those guys because they really wanted them, and the price inflates even more when you go grab guys. But that's just how it goes, man. And then they went and got Coop, but that wasn't really.
no.
Their draft capital.
No,
the draft
Coop
capital.
was
yeah.
the trade. Coop
the
was
trade.
first on trade.
Yeah,
Okay.
draft capital. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Real quick, one last
And
thing.
T.O. Yeah.
Real quick, one last
Go
thing. Okay, so a lot of people, obviously, that the talk is like Sean Payton, right? Sean Payton, fucking this coach, that coach.
Right.
So, you know what's going to happen, what's going to change. Okay, so I've been watching your stuff for a while, man. Like you remember back in the days of the late night high.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that shit, dude?
Right.
You guys interviewed Lucky Whitehead, and you remember Lucky Whitehead talked about like they're at practice, and all of a sudden, what's his name? Jerry Jones lands his fucking helicopter in the middle of practice, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right, I
What
remember
kind
that.
of coach? Here's my point. When we're talking about coaches doing what they need to do. Do you think fucking Bill Belichick or fucking Mike Tomlin is going to be like, oh, yeah, Jerry, just land your fucking helicopter fucking in the middle of practice, bro? No.
No.
That's why we don't get shit done, dude. Fucking Jerry Jones in meetings, in quarterback coach meetings.
Mm.
And then here's this. Dude, we've seen it happen this year. I'm sorry I'm pissed off, man.
I know, I
We've
feel
seen it
you,
happen
man.
this year when Zeke was hurt. Imagine you're Mike Tomlin or any coach. I don't care who you are. Matt Rule, you're fucking any coach from college. You do your Friday night press conference, right? Your Friday afternoon press conference. Zeke is hurt. So you give your press conference, you say, yeah, Zeke Elliott's hurt. We're going to sit him back. And then Jerry Jones says, oh, no, he's the stir he's the
Straw that stirs the drink. Yep.
Yeah, it's like what the fuck? You can't work with that, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I'm like screaming.
No, you're good, man. I feel you, man. Get your frustrations out, regardless of what's going on. Hey, Cowboys Nation, that's just what it is, man. Jerry Jones, he's a chauvinist, and I'm not dogging him. That's just what he is. That's what made him him.
Yeah,
So,
no.
Yeah, that's just
We're not
made
saying
him.
that. Like we get it. Jerry loves the team, but that's the problem.
That's
and you even had those players,
Right.
Lucky Whitehead. Everyone, if people don't listen to that, you need to go back to that late night hype. That's when it was
Yeah.
you, fucking who was it? You,
Me, my guy Sky, and Big Game James,
Yeah.
and Lucky Whitehead had an oh my God,
Yeah.
and we had a behind the
talked
scene
about-
video too, man. That really got real crazy. But hey, man, I
think about it,
appreciate you
Ross.
so much, man. One more point. Go ahead.
Hold on. Think about it. What we've been talking about these coaches having balls, right?
Right,
What
cojones.
coach?
Mm.
Think about it, man. What coach wants to be like, yeah, Jerry Jones is cutting off my meetings. Jerry Jones is like interfering with me in these. I'm trying to sit Zeke down, and Jerry Jones is saying, no, Zeke is starting. That's where with the Sean Payton stuff, like I do want Sean Payton, but it doesn't matter, man, because when it comes down to it, it's going to be the same stuff, man. You know what I mean?
I feel you,
It's gotta
man.
be the
Oh my
same
God.
shit, dude. We've
Hey,
been
what's
through this,
your
bro.
name again, fam? What's your name again?
In the chat, I'm Spock. Can you save me? Spock.
Spock.
Live long and prosper.
Live long.
Yeah,
Appreciate
Spock,
you,
bro.
man. Appreciate you, Spock, man. Appreciate you so much for calling in, bro. Salute.
All right.
Good call for real, man. He was the last caller of the day, man. And man, we did a marathon show. I told y'all I'm gonna go live and I'm gonna make sure I answer everybody who called in, good, bad, or ugly, or indifferent. And boy, oh boy. Good call from him. Good, passionate guy. He did have a lot of F-bombs, but you got to get it out, Spock, So shout out to him, man. Shout out to everybody, man, that called in. Thank those who prayed with me. Thank those who didn't pray. Thank those who gave. Thank those who didn't give, who wanted to give but couldn't give. Thank those who subscribed for this episode. I hope all is well with everybody, man. Let me see here. Quincy Sands, appreciate you for your donation. I told you I'm going to read your donations here. Peyton Manning, read that Payton and Mike McCarthy won. Okay, I see it. I've already read that one. So appreciate everybody, Cowboy Nation. I endured all the way to the end. All right, so we at this point. Now we can go over to lost train of thought. Grading players. Yeah, grading players. Grading players. We're going to do free agency talk, and we're going to do mock drafts right now. Y'all want me to keep going? No. No, I can't keep going, man. I'm tired a little bit. But what I'm going to do is the next episode, we'll go over grading players. You may see some smaller videos talking about what's going on with the news and alleyways and everything with the Cowboys. Let's stay focused. Let's recharge ourselves, Cowboy Nation. Be sure to check out other content creators too. They are out there. But Cowboy Nation, I ain't folding up, man. I'm still go Cowboys. I'm crying. Go Cowboys. But if you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time and your peace and your sleep for it, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired of it and it makes you hold all other things tawdry or cheap for it, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme, and dream, is about it, if you'll gladly go out there and sweat for it, fret for it, and plan for it, and lose all terror of God or man for it, if you will just simply go after the thing you want, Come on, Cowboy Nation. Y'all need to listen in to this. If dogged and grim and proceed and beset it with the help of Almighty Cowboy Nation, you will get it. I remember being like this before for 26 straight years. And I'm still rooting for this team. Ain't this right, Sally? Appreciate you. The content always DC for life. Every day. Every day. My name is Law Nation Sports, not Cowboys in it, but I can't get away from it because I love the Cowboys. Oh my goodness. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. George says, Spock, you got law demonetized. No, he don't. Shout out to him, man. He was saying pluck. He wasn't saying the other word. Come on. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. We were sending an appeal. Shout out to everybody, Cowboy Nation. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Let's roll credits if it works. Shout out to y'all, Oscar, George, East Camden, For Life, Gina, Blake. Appreciate you. Yeah. Come on. You know what? As I look at this highlight, I'm glad that we did it against the Atlanta Falcons, right? Boy, this would have been crazy if the production team would have did this against the Cards or against another team that we lost to, like the Denver Broncos. I'm glad we had this weekend, right? We can enjoy that weekend. Let's go. Shout out to Barry Griffin. Shout out to Cowboys Experience. Appreciate you, B-Rod. Yo, Tony. Shout out time. Look, my roll credits ain't working, but it's all good. Appreciate you. Y'all hit that subscribe button. There's somewhere right there, yeah.
Please, no photos. No, please, no photos. I keep giving game away.
It don't supposed to show me right now. It's a flaw in my system. Supposed to show this right here. Where is it?
Thought it take the pain away. In my own lane, finger
Come on,
roll.
post show this right here.
Heard your whole team, what's the heard this on the market for the low. Who the realest, we might never know.
Law is the realest, baby. Come on, y'all get it right.
The world when they sign you up. Try you out and then they line you up. Ooh. Now you're looking hungry, ribs are touching, need some food.
Need some milk.
Now you're all on live acting surprised, but you was
He needs some milk.
Get out the way, it's been a day, now you're old news. Now you got the pen and paper, trying to take my moves. Nowadays, nothing really excites me.
Coach Sean Payton said he would like to get into TV. He got tired. He saw what Drew Brees was doing. He said, let me get out there and just call the plays on TV. Yeah. Final word tonight, baby. The grind never stops. Come on. If you watched all the way to this point and you have not subscribed, hit that shared icon or like this content, come on, man. What's wrong with y'all? What's wrong with y'all?
Shame. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Yeah, come on. Hey. Oh, let go. I work hard today, baby. Woo, I work hard today. Come on, baby. Come on.
Take a drag of my cigarette. Breathe me out, breathe you in.
Y'all still up in here? Y'all go home, man. Y'all get out of here, baby.
Yeah. Take a bite of my burger, babe. Save the last bite for you.
And
for you. Ooh. Don't let the street lights hit you all alone.
Don't let those street lights hit you. That's my calm down song.
To go alone. Don't let the street lights hit you. Can I be your player too? I'll follow wherever you go, whatever you do.
Shout out to you, Sadiqua. Boss Cowboys Sports. Yeah.
Perfect love. 7 more and another one.
And another one.
And another one.
Benny Blaze, shout out to you.
I think you was the one to love. 7 wonders all in one.
All in one.
All in one.
Come on, what we tell them?
Don't let the street lights hit you all alone. You know it's dangerous to go alone.
Scorpio.
Don't let the street lights hit
Shout out to you, Troy. Say.
I be your
Salad lawyer.
I'll follow wherever you go.
Appreciate you. B-Rock. Come on, later on tonight, the final word.
If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far.
Watch this last note, though, baby.
So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly.
Here you go.
Fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on.
And remember, that note right there, baby. Oh my goodness, man. That's a note right there. Hey, we up out of here, though. Love y'all, man. More love. Even though my Cowboys ain't playing.